Hey, good evening, everybody. Yeah, Sty stumbling all over the place trying to get his live stream going here. Yeah, we're up and running. Hey, I want to shout out the folks that are over there in the chat. Kathy Gahano's first one in. Great to see you, Kathy. Kirk Whipper, Tim. Hello. All is good at camp. Yes, it is. And then there's Phil. Everything spicy. He's down in the basement. We'll pull him up here real shortly here. Joey, great to see ya. And that's the only folks chatting. So we got a quiet chat right now. It won't stay that way. I guarantee you it won't stay that way. I'm going to pull my friends out of the basement. The first one, just because. I mean, she was the first in, so she's coming up first. But, she is. I was going to say she's here, but not all there. I mean, but no, she's here. And there,
the kid came home. I had to turn off the camera and mute while he got through the door and got settled. So sorry about that.
No. I heard Chase raising Cain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pup was announcing, the boy's at the door.
Yep.
Oh, it was great that you come up right away tonight. That's nice.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to ask you that question. So
yeah, we'll get on that question. We'll bring this goofball up, and we'll get on that question you asked. There he is. There's Phil.
Goofball.
Hey. Yeah, goofball. Hey, hi, John.
John.
The new to the page. Well, welcome aboard. So Phil, right away, Samantha comes up. She was quick too. She just popped right up, and I thought, boy, yeah, what's up? And she says, was that you over on Phil's stream the other night? I said, yeah. I got the gut feeling that Phil thought I was a troll. That somebody had stolen my image and popped in there. But how would they steal my membership?
I know, right? I looked at that after I thought of that. I'm thinking, well, there's no way you could steal both of those things. So I was thinking, all right, well,
yeah.
It'd be pretty tough. Didn't seem like normal comments from you, but they seem like they could be you. You know what I mean?
Well, that's it. I told Samantha, I said, that was getting so wild over there. And I tell you what, the minute you guys started talking about titties, I had to jump in. I mean,
I like boobs.
I've never been weaned. I'm 64 years old and I'm still not weaned. So the the humans, especially human males, are the only warm-blooded creature in the world that never weans himself. There's no other animal out there that hasn't weaned himself by a certain age. But yeah, us humans, we just don't know better, Hey, Mr. Fulton, good to see ya. So yes, that was me. And the comments were few, but I tried to make them impactful,
I forget, were we talking about boobies that night?
What were?
Yeah, we talked about a lot of stuff. I think
you were talking about above the waist, and below the waist, quite a bit. I mean, and the below the waist side, that's when I throw a comment back in. I still like titties. And then when you guys, I loved it when Travis said, Sty, we're not talking. I said I like talking about titties a lot more than I like talking politics. And he goes, Sty, we're not talking about politics and this. boy, that guy can't take a freaking joke, man. I mean, come on, there's something wrong with that boy. He needs to retire from the Army. There, he's just getting so stiff necked that he just can't take a joke. I mean, yeah.
You see my video yesterday? That was a joke.
No, I didn't get to see it yet.
I had a 1 minute little, not even a minute long, of me out in the parking lot at work.
Oh, I gotta watch that.
Yeah, we've got at this point, I think we have, other than demos, we have less than 12 vehicles on the lot. But the demos that we got, people are out in them, drive their service vehicles. So I mean, we can sell those, but then we had to pull people out of them and, don't have a vehicle to put them back into. So yeah, we are in dire straits in the car industry, not just us, but across the United States. So
that's bad. That's
it
bad.
is. It's real bad.
Yeah, when you guys can't even grab a used vehicle off the lot to use for your own business purposes.
We do have used vehicles, but you don't typically put a customer in a used vehicle because you physically own that. They go out there and smash that thing up. That's a whole
Yeah,
definitely don't want to smash up a used one.
That's pure total loss on the used one. Yeah.
Hey,
Rattle Trap, it's great to see you. Lisa Lee, good to see you. The Mictobus, hey. Great bunch coming in, filing in. They
all figure it out.
Yeah.
It may not be here at the opening, but they all figure it out.
It's been quite a goofy week for me out at camp, and I'm going to wait till there's a few more folks in the house and kind of update them on what's going to be going on here for September and October. Freeman James, hey brother, great to see you. Just about to take my colon, getting ready for my enema tomorrow. Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Yep. Time for the old black snake, eh?
Yeah, dude. I've never had a colonoscopy, and I know I'm supposed to have had one by now.
I've only had one, and the doctor that performed it on me is still over there at that part of the hospital. And I run into him about a year ago, and he says, "You haven't been back in for another one of those, have you?" And I said, "Well, obviously not. You're the only guy in town that's doing them." And he goes, "I just want to let you know how thankful I am." And I go, "Oh, you didn't enjoy that, did you?" Because I made sure he didn't enjoy it any more than I did. Because I told him when I had mine done back in the day, they didn't sedate you at all, nothing. You're wide freaking awake. They got you laying sideways on that damn table, give you the old black snake, and then they pump you full of air to get that snake in there further because they want to inflate your colon to get in there and look around. And it hurts like a mother. God almighty. And then you feel like you're gonna blow that snake out your rear end and blow a hole right through the wall, And about halfway through that procedure, I started explaining to that doctor, "You wait. You ain't never going to want to pull that thing out of me because as long as it's in me, I ain't going to try to stand up." I said, "But the minute you get that thing out of me, you're going to find out what it felt like." I said, "I'm going to give it to you." I said, "But I'm going to shove the camera end in first." That's because they got this big big old camera thing on the end of that black snake. I was going to shove that in first. I'll look through the little end. You son of a gun, shove that thing in my butt. No, ain't never happening again. He says, "But what if you were to get colon cancer?" I said, "How are you ever going to know? Because you ain't never going in there to look for it. Ever again. No." I said, "No, I just ain't letting it happen." Hey, Nick, good to see you.
How you doing, Nick?
But that is now my ex-wife, she had one done a few years back, and they actually found a couple of cancerous polyps, and so she had to go through surgery, get them removed, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, she told me how that went, and I'm just like, I wanted to slap her and tell her, bend over, I got a 2x4 for you. I'm going to show you what it felt like when I had it done. They put her literally so far to twilight that she said, I didn't even realize what they were doing. She says, it was crazy. Hey, Crazy Ann, good to see you, sweetie. Hey, Grandpa Kevin. Good evening. Good evening. Yeah. Yeah, like I was saying, camp was crazy this week. I did a couple of videos. One's going up Friday, one's going up Sunday. What the heck were they?
Something about camp?
Yeah. What the hell were they? I went to Travis, to his campground, Destination Great Lakes, down the Black Lake Campground, because he told me that a couple of our foresters or a couple of our rangers were dropping a big red pine down there in one of his campsites. I wanted to go watch these goofballs cut that big tree down. So I went down there and I filmed them cutting that tree down. They did a good job because they knew Sty had his camera going, so they followed all of the rules about dropping trees. But that was a big ass tree too. They busted up 2 nice maples dropping it though. They had to drop those 2 maples also. But and the second one it's about something I found at the dumpster. I'm not going to reveal what it was. You're going to have to watch for that video. That one will pop up on Sunday. What a find, it's called. And I meant it. What a find. Man, I'm happy about that shit. I love it when somebody throws something away.
Yeah.
Thought he was yelling what at me again. I was going to say, heck, I'm the old guy. I should be the one losing my hearing. Look at this, folks. Look at this. Look at this great panel I've got. Man, oh man. Yeah, got people up on the panel that they put their best pictures up. Oh, Samantha's back. That's better than the picture, but she had a nice pretty picture of her up there, and then look at this guy down here, his picture. Yeah. Isn't that a fella you want to take home to meet mom?
We're out at Tabasco in the house. My boy came to steal one of my hot sauces.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, he puts it in his rice when he boils the water.
Hey, Will the Rocker.
Seasonings and stuff in his rice while he boils water, so it adds a flavor without adding too much heat.
Oh, without all the heat, he's getting
without too much.
Yeah, he's getting more of the pepper flavor than the heat. Yeah.
What's up, peppers?
Not a bad idea.
So.
I took this what the heck was it called? Anyway, it's like a Spanish rice, but it's got beans and corn and all kinds of other stuff in it. It's rice, of course, and it was packed full of peppers, and it had a little bit of some good kick to it. I tried something totally different. I just off the cuff.
What's my phone number, Mom?
Some hickory smoked ham and diced it up. Diced that up, fried it. Then I threw in some baked beans. Then I threw that hot Mexican rice in with it. Oh, shit, that turned out good. That turned out real good. Yeah.
Poor Sam can't get a break.
Yeah. She can't get a break.
What's up, Dr. Smith?
Hey, Dr. Smith. We do have to keep in mind it's only 4:15 in the afternoon where she's at.
That's true, right?
Yeah.
He still needs some mom time. Mom. At least he's not asking for chicken pot pie. Mom, a chicken pot pie.
Hey, Dr. Smith. Good to see you.
Jeez, things are horrible. I'm gonna start using something better to clean these lenses with.
Yeah.
You left my door open.
Yeah, John, I'm not trying to ignore you. I'm not. But Phil and I got kind of the same policy. we want to see folks hanging out in our chat for a while and hanging around the channel and getting to know you and kind of feeling the situation out before I bring anybody live up on the panel. We've had issues in the past, and that's why. It's not because of you. Yeah. You know, it's one of those deals. Somebody in the past did something stupid and kind of spoiled it for the others, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt J. and Melissa Spencer.
What's up, Melissa?
Awesome.
How you doing, girl? So he had to come back in the room and put the hot sauce back. So at least he put it back.
At least he put it back. That's great. That's great. Yeah, I was telling Phil earlier, I've got a new phone. And I've got a good data package on it. And I'm going to test this week when I get back to camp. Do a couple test live streams to a private save so that if they're crappy, they're crappy and nobody sees them. But if they work out, then I'm going to do a live stream from camp, give it a shot. My boy Running Water, he'll be home in another, he won't be home for another 3-4 weeks, but he's got cabling for me, so I'll be able to use my flat screen out at camp, run my phone for the live stream in the camera, flat screen, got it figured out for the microphone and my headset, blah, blah, blah. So all could go well, and I could be live streaming from out at my picnic table with the lake as a backdrop, or bad weather right from inside this adventure trailer. So we'll see what happens, folks. We'll see if this works out. The live streams probably won't. If I do them on my phone data, I probably won't have a panel. I don't know if my phone will handle it. But if I'm doing it through my hotspot, then I'll use my laptop and I'll still have panels. Yeah. So we're gonna play with it here and see how it works.
Play with it on
and
your
watch
own
it. Watch it.
Play with it on your own time.
Hey, look at here. Hey, Dojo. Dojo, my buddy.
Up,
God,
brother?
it's been so long, brother. Man.
Are you back on night shift?
Back on nights.
Holy
Back
crap.
on nights. That's
Look,
right. Hey, Guani.
I thought maybe you'd make
Peppers,
daytime
Kentucky living.
current, huh? They got the UK locked back down and you're back on nights?
Back on nights.
Mm.
But one of the guards left.
Hey,
I
Barry.
went on to days. They've just employed a new person, so I'm back on nights.
I'm so happy to see Dojo, my brother. This is awesome.
Yeah, it sure is, man. What a surprise. What a surprise. Every time I see Dojo nowadays, if I happen to get a glimpse of Dojo or see him somewhere chatting, saying something, memories come back. We had many a wild stream when I first started streaming. Boy, yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. It was.
Who was it who got me? It was Gemma, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Yeah. The boy, it was, we had some streams that I'm still surprised that YouTube never took any down. They never struck me or nothing. And some of them they should have.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad I didn't work for them because I would have restricted some of my own, you know.
I would have done it as well.
Yeah, hopefully they don't go back a year or two. Actually, probably have to go back 2 years to some of those.
Yep.
Some of the crazy stuff we used to do.
Oh yeah.
It's
I was thinking about it the other day. It's amazing how long it's been now that we've been all hanging out, and boy, a lot of things have changed, and you know, but
COVID crap.
But we haven't changed. That's what's cool. It's the same group, same
I think
people.
we've mellowed out. I'm really disappointed in myself.
Oh yeah, your live stream Monday night sure seemed mellow to me. Yeah. You got me over
that.
He got me over there talking dirty on his live stream for camp.
I was using medical terms.
Well, oh yeah, you sure were. But yeah, all the doctors in the bar at about 2 in the morning after they've worked the ER all day. Yeah, medical terms, my ass. That it was funny though. I'm sitting there in my trailer that night. I got the windows open in the trailer. It was a nice night, and I'm on there watching his stream, and they started talking about titties, and I'm laughing and I'm leaving comments. And I can't remember what somebody just out of the blue, kind of in the middle of a conversation, just said titties. And I thought it was out of context, but they just slipped it in. And I forgot where I was. I'm in the middle of a campground, and I got about 15 people staying in 5 campsites out there, and they heard me at about 11:15 at night just beller out, titties! And then I realized, nobody heard you except your campers, you moron. Yeah. So the whole camp heard me yell out titties. Yeah.
Well, maybe
if you're wanting a thumbs down, I give you a thumbs up to just piss off the trolls.
Someone looks happy.
That's the thing is poor Phil right away. First thing he thought is with my comments, somebody's pretending they're Sty and trolling me, you know.
Well, I didn't expect you to see you in my chat on a Monday night. I'm like, what the hell? I mean,
I didn't expect it either, but boy, my phone was working so good that night.
Yep.
I get notifications when you guys are doing stuff on YouTube, and that popped up, and I go, oh, let's see what he did for a live stream. And I hit it, and I realized, no, he is live. It's still live. And I watched it for about 15 minutes going, yeah, this is good. It's streaming great. So I thought I'll try, because a lot of times I would try messaging, and they just wouldn't go through. Oh, that night I could message all I wanted. It's just that I'm so damn awkward trying to type on the phone that, so I don't do a lot of messages. I just do short little blunt ones and they were pretty blunt that night.
Yeah I don't remember them all, but I can again I was questioning some of the comments. I was like, are you sure that's Sty?
Yeah, I was getting a kick out of that, the questioning as to, is that Sty? Really? Is that Sty? And then when I saw that you messaged me on Facebook, are you in the stream? So you must have done that while you were still streaming. And so I just sat on that till today and sent you that response today to say, oh, I was on my phone, and that lets you think about it. God,
we were both curious.
Really? And I like how Sam put it. It kind of sounded like you, but it was a little like, no, maybe that isn't Sty. Yeah, that dark side of me came out Monday night.
I had to turn my ceiling fan off. It's cool down here, so.
Oh, yeah, I got my fan running. It ain't cool in here.
Oh, yeah,
I was surprised it got up to 86 today here.
Yeah, we've had the air conditioning on for the past week and a half because it's been in the upper 80s and humid and everything else. So it's like, let's just keep it on until it dips back down again. So
we haven't had a lot of humidity. It's been nice warm days, but last couple of days get rain part of the day and then nice the rest of the day kind of thing.
Right. all you ever see here is rain.
Okay, now Phil, did you do a Packy 2020 and 2021 comparison?
Well, I did a comparison on a live stream, so I showed the two different chips.
That's
things
right.
like
That's that live stream, and
That live
that's
stream.
why I thought I was going to be rewatching the live stream, and I thought he'll do that right away. He'll do that up front somewhere of the live stream,
Yeah.
and that's when I ended up coming right in the middle, towards the end there. Yeah, doggone it! I got to go back and watch the beginning of that live stream.
No, I think Peppers is talking about the day prior where I had actually done tried to eat all those chips and obviously fell way short. But
Well, what was the number you did?
17.
I was going to say, wasn't it
It was
17?
crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a guy out there I saw a video today called the Scoville Unit. He's a small channel. He did 10.
Ooh.
So I don't. Again, right now I have the record for this chip for this year's chip. Obviously, I don't have the overall record, but again,
Of-
me, this is an
And
entirely different chip from last year.
Yep.
Old British.
Sam
wine.
convinced me of it.
We're still proud of you.
Yeah. Oh man, I watched that. I watched that whole stream, and I tell you what, I was dying when you were on about the fourth one. I was like, oh my god.
I was only a few chips in and started shaking.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I could
started
tell right
opening
away.
and I was shaking, and I was queasy all day. Again, I get nerves, and I still don't know if I was if I gone into it feeling better, if I would have done better. I don't think so because the cramps, were around till 7:30 in the morning.
Ooh, they did last till that.
Yeah, about
ooh.
1 o'clock or so, I was able to doze off down here, and I keep water with me. And but I doze off for about 20 or 30 minutes, and I get about a 5-10 minute good cramp. And then I doze off for about the same amount of time, 5-10 minute cramp, and that went on until about 7:30. I kept trying to go to bed, and I go up there, and the second I get in that room, I start to feel it again. It's like, damn! So I go back out on the couch because then the water, all the water I was drinking was starting to come out of my system.
Right.
So then I had to be upstairs because going from the basement upstairs back downstairs when you're hurting and stuff, it starts gets that stuff moving around. Doesn't feel good.
Yep. Yeah, you're just stirring stuff up.
Yeah, you just want to sit
hiking up and down them stairs.
Yeah, when you're hurting, you just want to. It's a funny thing about this, though. All that water and liquid and stuff I drink after a challenge, none of it seems to want to come out until you get to a certain point. So it all kind of, I don't know what your body is doing.
Right.
I have watched some stuff that's actually some medical stuff, and not about spice, but about other stuff. I don't know what your body's doing, but it doesn't seem like until the cramps get to a certain point that your body then starts getting rid of the fluid, and then it's getting rid of the fluid. So
I'm wondering if it's not like a self-defense kind of metabolism thing where your body's holding those liquids because it thinks you're ill or injured.
Yeah.
And so your
body's pretty smart.
But I'll tell you that the thing is I had heard somebody had made a comment, something about they're just Packy chips again, and they don't get it. Not all Packy chips have been made equally. These are I guess you would say improved upon, but yet that's not an improvement for someone that wants to actually eat one. But
they listened to us about the activated charcoal and got rid of the activated charcoal because that made them taste like crap.
Yeah, sure did.
But one of the purposes for the activated charcoal, actually two purposes. One was to give the blue chip its color. Secondly, was to reduce stomach cramps, so it would be less of a gut bomb with the activated charcoal. So they got rid of that. Which, not in hindsight, I wish they hadn't. But anyways.
See, that's it. Was giving up that rotten taste worth it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this time, instead of being Carolina Reaper and saffron extract, which is what the old one was, this is Carolina Reaper and Scorpion. And Scorpion's got a different burn than a lot of peppers. Matter of fact, Scorpion pepper was one of the first pods that I ever ate, and I didn't eat the whole thing. I ate just a little sliver of it. And this is before I don't know if it was before I had a channel at the very beginning, but instantly I had sweat running down the back of my neck. And I took the rest of that pepper and I threw it in the garbage. It says no one should ever eat it.
No one. If Phil throws it in the trash, says no one should ever. Yeah, you can guarantee that I'll never let it in my house.
But again, that wasn't, that was 3 years ago, So actually, it'd been about 3 years. It'd be about 3 years ago in I think October, because my daughter brought them to me from a market up the street here, like a little outdoor market thing where they were growing them. So
I think back a couple of years and some of the stuff that was being done compared to now, and
I know.
it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm glad because of this swallowing disorder I've developed, I can't do them anymore. I can't do hot shit anymore. There's no way. I'd never be able to swallow it. It's kind of misfortunate because there's a couple things I still would like to try, but how is beautiful England weather?
Not so beautiful. We've had is rain, wind, rain. Oh yeah, more rain.
You'll lick your mouth. Icky poo.
That's when they say pack for an English summer, that means you better have a raincoat and a sweater in that bag.
I think this bank holiday, we've got a bank holiday coming up this weekend. It's the first bank holiday we've had where we're going to be in the 20s.
That's part of dojo at work.
I haven't missed that when I've been on days.
It's not like he can get back on the intercom and be like, "Shut up, you guys! I'm on panel with Sty North."
Yeah, right. Hey, there's
Yeah, go on and go. Do you mind? I'm working on a panel here.
Yeah. I'm in a very important business meeting now. You need to be quiet over there.
Funny.
Oh, jeez.
He's a nut.
He's a lucky dog.
I called him up here because he's hassling the cat. He's about to get clobbered. So I was like,
still won't leave that cat alone.
No. And Tyga beats him up all the time, but he still goes for it. He's fearless. This dog is nuts.
When you first got him, that little fella just wouldn't leave the cat alone, and the cat would beat him, and he'd still go right back. And it was like, dummy, that cat's going to beat the tar out. That cat's going out and getting in cat fights all the time, and you're there messing with him, and you're not half his size. Yeah, it was funny.
They still go at it, and he still keeps going back for more. He doesn't learn.
You don't learn. Yeah, he's like some of the rest of us guys. Just don't learn.
Short memory, right? So the other day I went over to my mother-in-law's. Of course, on Sundays I go over there. I mow her lawn. I help take care of what's going on around the outside of her place, so it doesn't get too run down, right? And my sister and brother-in-law are over there. And my sister-in-law, she's like, you know what? I planted all these plants out in my garden. I planted some regular peppers, green peppers, some jalapenos, because they like jalapenos. They get a little spicy. And she says, I got this one plant, she says, that I realized when the leaves started coming out, It wasn't a jalapeno plant.
Oh,
What the heck?
These are big old habaneros.
nice.
Huge habaneros. So she knew who to give these things to, right?
Oh yeah, right.
So yeah, here I got what, a good plate full of them.
Very
Oh,
nice.
see now, a buddy of mine, and that's the only time I ever enjoyed Hobbs. Look at him chewing that thing up.
Yeah.
The only time I ever enjoyed Hobbs was he'd take them buggers and he'd cut the caps off of them and clean them out, and he'd stuff that full of this cream cheese and some other cheeses, and they were seasoned, spiced somehow, and he stuffed them full of those cheeses. Then he put them in a pan with a real spicy Mexican tomato sauce in it, and smothered that with cheese, and then bake them. And you'd scoop those halves out about that size, and I could eat like 3 or 4 of them, and then my engine was really smoking by then. But he'd sit there and eat a dozen of them damn things that cooked like that, But
they're hot. There's some good
yeah, fresh out of garden.
Yep.
Very cool.
That's neat.
I remember a long time ago, I bought some Hobbs because they didn't have any jalapenos. I used to make this dish for myself to eat in the evening, which was a rice dish. And so I decided to get habaneros because I didn't have any jalapenos. And I used the same amount of habaneros that I use on jalapenos. And I was sitting there eating my food, and the tears are this is pre-doing what I do now.
Yeah.
And the tears and the snot and everything else was just rolling down my face, and it's like, holy mackerel. Yeah, that's a good burn. I would tell you right now, I'm at a good 3 on that pepper. And there's some substance to these. I mean, they're big.
Yeah.
Big peppers. They're not big small peppers.
Yeah, nice meaty big buggers. Matt, that actually sounds pretty good. The jalapeno or habanero deviled eggs. Yeah. Dice them up, mix them in with the yolks, making the stuffing for your deviled eggs. That I can see that would be kind of, because you'd have that soft mellow flavor of the white of the egg and the yolk, but yet you still have that kick in there. Yeah, that sounds kind of good. Yeah, stuffed jalapenos. We used to make them all the time. Yeah, I love them too.
And I've never considered a jalapeno to be really hot. More, there's a lot of flavor.
Yeah.
I guess if I ate enough jalapenos back in the day, they were hot. But normally you're not dumping a bunch of jalapenos on stuff. You might have, nachos with the melted cheese and some jalapenos in it or whatnot.
Shadow?
I'll never forget down in Texas. We're down in Austin. We went to this club called the Oasis, and it's on the big reservoir in North Austin, and beautiful place, and they got awesome food, and my aunt and uncle and me and the ex-wife went up there to have dinner. The ex-wife ordered these. They were prawns. They weren't shrimp. They were so damn big. And they were stuffed, right, with cheese. And I wasn't paying attention to what she ordered. I got a menu after she lit up like a Christmas tree and couldn't eat the second half of that first shrimp. And I took a couple, and I ate a couple. Oh, my God, they were hotter than sin. And my aunt ate the rest of them. But they brought her 8 of these big shrimp on this plate. Here they were stuffed with cheese and strips of habanero.
Nice.
Just slivers. But there's about 6 or 8 slivers in each shrimp,
Oh Okay.
So every time you bit into a shrimp, you're getting a good mouthful of splintered, fresh. You could tell they must have taken a peeler and just peeled those strips fresh
Nice.
and stuffed them in those shrimp. But the flavor made the burn worth it. The combination of the shrimp, cheese, and the habanero was pretty good. But I wouldn't have never been able to eat all 8 of them. I ate like 3, and I was lit up pretty good. Yeah. Uh,
What's up, Alexander?
Hey, Alexander. Yeah, I saw your post in the Sty Shack, bud. What a bummer. He had a truck accident, rolled his truck. The truck it was him and his girlfriend. Both of them are all right, but the truck's a total loss, and most of the things they had in the truck are a total loss. And they were supposed to start a new job. Well, they had the accident, and the way things played out, neither one of them were able to start their new jobs, so they lost their jobs. And they're in transition. They're trying to they got to get out of the place they're living in. They're trying to get an apartment. It's another day in the life of us poor folks that just something's going to get us, right?
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad luck.
I had a bike accident.
Oh, no. Bicycle, probably.
No, he had a motorcycle.
A motorcycle.
Yeah. What are you doing?
I went straight into the back of a car.
Oh, jeez.
Back of a car. That poor cat.
Oh, he was looking at some gal on the sidewalk. That's what he was doing. Whoa!
Going round the bend.
Oh my God, that felt good.
I'm going round the bend. You know when the sun hits you and everything just goes black.
Wow.
And I went round and everything went black, and I hit the back of the car, and
Damn sun's fault. You blame the sun.
Damn sun's fault.
What's up, not a great gamer?
It's a good thing you're okay.
Yeah, great gamer must have got a T-shirt from your channel, eh?
It cost me. It didn't cost me that much. It cost me 500 quid to get it all repaired.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did that to a friend's bike motorcycle when I was in Hawaii, and wound up laying it down. We had a new handle, cover for the crankcase, wore a hole in that. Probably wound up in about $500 or so, just making his bike right for him again.
And all I did to the car was scratch the back of the bumper with a little scratch like that.
Hi, Jadzia.
I had road rash for 3-4 weeks on my arms. So
I did all these on me, all the scuts and things all over my fingers.
Boy, I was talking with a fellow out at camp last week. We're talking about when we were younger. He's my age, and we were talking about all the road rash and how many times we had to have gravel picked out of our forearms and our legs because we laid a bike down in the gravel on the side of the road. But that guy really had me beat, man. He was wearing shorts, and if you look at his legs, I go, holy God, did you get tore up? And he goes, yeah. He says, I had a bad habit of riding my bike around with short pants. He said, now I wouldn't get on a bike without 2 pairs of chaps. He says, and one helmet that fit and one that's oversized to go over that. He says, because I know I'd kill myself if I got on a bike now. I said, yeah, that's the way I am, dude. I'd love to get on a scooter and go ride. Hey, plain old Chuck, man.
What's up, Chuck?
Hey,
Here we go. Cream cheese, yeah. Stuff them.
I know me Me dad had a go with mine. He hasn't been on a motorbike since he was in his 20s. He's 77 now.
Oh wow!
He said, let's have a little go. I went, go on then, Dad. He only went from about there to there. He went, no, you keep it, lad. He said, too fast for me.
Hey, Mystic Bunny, good to see you.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind riding a bike again, but again, I wouldn't get on someone else's bike and move it or ride it. I would only do it if it were mine. You know, I'd be afraid of messing someone else's. If it was mine, I wouldn't be afraid, but if it was someone else's, I'd be afraid.
Yeah, this fella that stopped out at my campground week before last, I mentioned him last week, I think, Dan Otto. I haven't seen him in years. We met each other over 25 years ago, but he reminded me, he goes, you didn't forget, did you, that you bought that old Gold Wing from me, didn't you? I said, yeah, I did. And we got chatting about that, and I thought, boy, if I had that thing today, I'd kill myself on it. Yeah.
Well, there was an epidemic back after Desert Storm of guys coming back, especially Marines coming back with all this money they got saved up because they weren't able to spend it over there, buying motorcycles, feeling like they were invincible, and going out there, not necessarily dying, but going out there and getting the motorcycle accidents and everything else, not acting smart, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you do. I mean, when you're young like that, 19, 20 years old, you got something like that, you kind of feel a little invincible, you know. You gotta be smart.
Hey, I'll never forget. Yeah. In 1967, when I came riding into the yard on a brand new Vespa, I bought that Vespa brand spanking new in 1967 for $385.
Wow.
And I couldn't believe they sold it to me. It wasn't licensed, but they figured, well, if the kids got cash, we'll sell it to them. Oh, yeah. They got it back that same day. Yeah. My old man made me ride it right back in front of his squad car, all the way back to that dealer. Walked in, he told the dealer, he says, I'll tell you what, he says, you give the kid back $350, you keep the $35 as a tip for letting them ride it home. They didn't argue. They gave me $350 back. He wouldn't let me have the damn thing. I was only 10. I was 10 years old.
The one what my friends got, it was his granddad's. It was a 1962. He passed it on to his dad. Now my friend's got it.
Yeah. My old man knew I'd kill myself with it. You know, if I would have been allowed to keep that Vespa, and my dad would have just said, you just never get to ride it. You have to stay in the garage until you're 42 or something like that, you know. And I had that puppy today. Well, boy, that'd be a gold mine, that Vespa. Yeah. I really liked it. It was like a midnight blue. It was a dark blue. The only thing I didn't like about it was it had a white seat. I said,
yeah, a lot of them had white seats.
That goddamn sissy seat on there, white seat. I said, shit. And I didn't even get the chance to find out. They said it, some bitch go pretty fast, you know. I did get a chance to find out if I could put a brown stripe down that white seat or not, you know. Get out there, wind that thing up.
Especially when you had the cop following you back to the place you bought it from. Maybe when you drove it off, but definitely not when you drove it back.
I do have to say that the dealership was only about 2.5 miles from the house. And on the way to the house, it was about 8 miles. On the way back, it was 2.5 miles. Yeah. You know, the ride home, I had to take every side street all the way home. You know? But he treated me well after he made me give up the Vespa. The outfit that sold it to me, they sold all kinds of shit. They sold boats and scooters and all kinds of golf carts, all kinds of shit. And he bought me a brand spanking new 1967 Evinrude 6-horse outboard motor for when I wanted to go fishing.
Oh, okay.
So, but actually, I think it was more dangerous having that boat motor than that Vespa ever. The Vespa, I probably would have just hurt myself. But boy, when I was out in that boat with that outboard on it, and then after he passed away, I built myself a little hydroplane, and that 6-horse on that hydroplane, I had to lean out over the hood of that thing because that 6-horse was so heavy it would sink if I sat in the seat. So I had to lay out over the hood, throttle it up, get it going, and that's how it just across the water. Yeah, I ran into a couple old fishermen out there in their fishing boats, Boom! Sorry. Get the hell out of there. Who the hell was that kid? I think that was the chief of police's son. Yeah. No. Not me. Not me. I was a good kid. I'll be honest. It's always.
What's up, John?
Well, my parents think I was a good kid when I was younger.
I tell you what, the funnest. I had a couple of big reds, Honda big reds. I had the big one, the 350, and I sold those. Actually, I had 3 when I sold them. One wasn't running. I got a couple $100 for it. Then I had the standard red Honda 3-wheeler, and I had the big 350, big red. But I had painted that whole damn thing camouflage, and I had covered the seat with a camouflage naga hide. The whole thing was camouflage. I sold that for 3 times as much as I sold the red one. And the red one was 3 years older than the camouflage one. The sons of bitches were fighting over that camouflage one. And it wasn't as good as the other one. And I thought, camouflage sells, I guess, Well, that's like, oh, God, people laugh at me when they see me mowing the campgrounds on my 1980 Simplicity lawn tractor. They're going, that lawn tractor's over 40 years old. I said, shit, that's young. Look at me.
It ain't mine.
And it runs about the same as I do. Yeah. Yeah. Still does the job, though. I mean, it's 41 years old and still doing the job.
As long as it's doing the job and it's cutting the grass, and you don't spend half of your day fixing it until you can cut the grass, it's all right. Now, if you got to spend more time working on it to keep it going than it's been cutting the lawn, then you got to think about replacing it. But that ain't your responsibility. So,
yeah, not my problem. They're talking about getting a lawn crew next year, the Forest Service.
Really?
He's trying to get a lawn crew, and they'll just run around and mow all the boat landings and the campgrounds and everything, so I wouldn't have to mow, and none of us hosts would have to mow. And I told my boss, I said, what a fucking joke that is. That ain't gonna happen. And he goes, well, no, really, I'm trying to get this crew put together. And I said, go ahead, put the crew together. But them SOBs aren't allowed in my campground mowing campsites. And he goes, but you don't want to have to do that. I said, I want to do it. I don't want them doing it. I said, because how often can they come to my, if they're doing all of our campgrounds in our district, they're going to come to my campground once a week and mow what they can. If I've got people in campsites, you can't mow.
True.
You can't mow while they're there. So if I have the Simplicity sitting there, somebody packs up and they leave, I know somebody's coming in anytime after 2:00 that afternoon. I can zip over to that site and mow that bugger while they're out of there and before the next ones come in. So my campground can always stay maintained and mowed. But if you take my mower away and have these guys doing it, I'm going to have campsites with grass up to your ass. I said, no. He's rethought that. He's gonna have that crew just mow all of the large common areas where you don't have to worry about people. You can just get in there, mow the boat landing, big picnic areas and the like, So that'll work. Hey, Heartside. Great to see you, Eileen. And there's John from Adventures in the Heartland. Oh gosh. Are you and Jan still coming up over Labor Day weekend? I don't know how free I'm going to be that weekend, but we'll see. We'll see. At least in the evenings, at the minimum, we'll be able to do campfires together. They want to do some paddling over on Mineral Lake, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That'll be nice. That'll be nice. I'd love, if I can't get out there and paddle with them, then it'd be nice to see what video work they do off on the lake there. Yep, we'll be there. Mystic Bunny and John are saying, yep. Yeah. Native Grammy had reserved a site at Beaver Lake at my other campground for about a week, but she wasn't able to make the trip, and she's so gracious. She didn't cancel the reservation, and she just told me, if you got a camper that you'd like to, kind of schmooze, you can put them in that site, if it's paid for, and they can pretend they're her, right? And yep, I got a couple that stayed in that campsite during her reservation time, and it was a great couple. They segment hiked the North Country Trail, and so that worked out really good. All my YouTube friends, it's so nice that I met new people, but so many of my YouTube friends showed up out of camp this year too. So that's great. Hey, Empty Woods Runner, howdy. When are you going to do some video work, bud? It's been a long time. The last time he was doing any real video work, Empty Woods Runner hiked 20 mountain peaks in one season.
Really?
And he's my age.
Holy shit.
I loved watching his videos because I could watch them and and say to myself, God, if I only could.
I can think of about 20 peaks I'd like to climb, but
here we go. It's not Monday night. I tell you what,
stretching.
I really do like exploring mountains myself. Yeah. Actually, I suppose if I cut my smoking way the hell back and got out west and spent a few weeks getting acclimated to elevation again, I guess I could do some backcountry hiking.
I keep getting moaned up by my dad about smoking. My dad's been smoking since he was 13. He gave up.
12.
He gave up last year, which made him 76.
Wow.
And he keeps saying to me, "You need to give up smoking." I said, "Dad, how old are you? When did you start?"
And that's the worst thing. And that's actually has been a hindrance to me ever quitting, is there's nobody in the world more opinionated and preachy than an ex-smoker. I mean, when I've got friends that smoke 20, 25 years and then quit, and they're screaming at me, "Jesus, you smoke like a chimney. You're going to die. You're going to die." Yeah, well, of course I'm going to die. Everybody eventually does that, And I tell them, don't you be preaching at me. Good for you. If that's what you wanted to do, is quit after 25 freaking years of smoking. Even my doctor, I asked her, I said, what would the benefit be if I quit smoking right now? And she said, well, it'd be about $60 to $80 a month you wouldn't have to spend on it. You could spend it on something else. And I go, that's what I thought. All it does is put fun money in my budget when I'm having plenty of fun smoking. I'm sorry. I've been smoking for 52 years. So, and the longest I ever quit was 5 weeks.
Longest I quit was a week.
I made it 5 weeks. And then this tribe that I worked for forced me to take over as chief financial officer for that tribe right after a $1.75 million embezzlement. The tribe was broke. They were bankrupt. And then I said, no, I don't want that damn job. I'm not cleaning up your mess. I ain't having. You're the only guy we can think of. I said, no, I'm the only sucker you think you can force into doing this. And they virtually forced me. They said, well, you already work for us. We're just going to promote you whether you like it or not. We'll force you to quit the new job, and then you won't have any income. Yeah, jerks. Well, so I went to work for them, and I had quit for 5 weeks. My very first day in that position, I got my new office, and I went through the books, found out they hadn't audited the tribe in 5 years, that there was more money missing than they thought. Federal government said they wanted to come in and take the tribe under receivership, and the tribe's telling me that day, you have to stop that. That's your job. Don't let them do that. Don't let the feds take our money. And I walked into my office, 21 accounting staff. I walked in there and I said, who are the smokers in here? A few hands went up, and I said, each one of you pony up 2 cigarettes. Yep, it equaled a full pack. There were 10 of them in that office that smoked. So I ended up with a whole pack. They were gone before I left that office that night at about 7 o'clock that night. All 20 of them smoked, all 20 of them. I walking through the tribal office smoking, and they're going, there's no smoking in here. You can't smoke in the administration building. I said, fire me. I don't give a shit. They found out, yeah, you're going to force me to take the job. You're going to let me smoke, too. Hey, Ingalls family.
Well, I watched a program years ago about an old boy who smoked 100 cigarettes for 25 years, every day, 100 cigarettes.
Uh-huh.
And they did
That's 5 packs a day.
And they did an autopsy on him when he passed away. And they said, the bloke who was cutting him up saying to the bloke next to him, is this the right body? He went, it's the right body. He said, why? He said, there's no sign that he smoked.
See, that's where my doctor, well, my cardiologist, after they did my open heart surgery, she didn't think it was funny at first, but she came in the next day and kind of talked to me about it. Because she said, after I was, about 24 hours after surgery, I was up and I was walking around. I wanted the hell out of there. I didn't care how much it hurt. And she comes in and says, now, you hear me out. She says, now you do understand you're not going to be able to smoke anymore or drink anymore. And I said, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. And she goes, I don't believe you. I heard that you've been smoking your whole damn life. She said, I don't believe you. I said, well, if I don't have to smoke any less and I don't have to drink any less, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Thank God. I'm okay with not doing more of that, but if I don't have to do less, that's cool. Well, then she come in and she said, after talking to my doctor, she said, after all of the x-rays they did on your lungs, and she said your lung volume, the fact that your oxygen levels are at 97 to 98% all the time, she said, you're just one of them odd characters that she says us trying to get people to be healthy and not smoke don't like guys like you because you're one of those odd characters where that isn't affecting your lungs. And I said, I don't know. I got a sister and brother that died of cancer, and cancer is real common in my family. On my mother's side, her dad, all of his siblings, they all passed away of cancer, every one of them. And
Bye-bye.
I got to get going, guys, but it was good to see
oh, yes. Oh, God, it
you.
was.
Love y'all. Have a
It
good
was.
week.
Love you, girl.
Bye.
See you next week.
There goes the neighborhood.
There goes the neighborhood. Yep. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Now we're watching the Three Stooges.
Yeah, right?
Jesus.
My I don't know if I told it on your stream, if I told it on my stream. I don't.
Hi, Rebecca.
I don't talk about family much, but my brother-in-law went in because he had something on his pancreas. Yeah, pancreas.
Oh.
And they wanted to do surgery and see what it was, remove it, and everything else. And he smoked all his life, and they opened him up, and he had hundreds of nodules.
Really?
Yeah, they took a biopsy, closed him back up. They didn't even bother with that one. And the test results came back a few days later that they're cancerous.
Oh, boy.
So he went cancer being stage 4.
Yeah.
So, and what made him go in there is when he would eat, he felt discomfort, but when he ate, it hurt even worse. And after a period of time, being a guy, us guys, we don't like going in to see the doctors. Yeah.
Right.
He finally went in, and that's when they discovered that, and then all this going on. So they're going to give him, I think chemotherapy twice a week or whatever, but he still doesn't want to eat. His wife has a hard time getting him to eat, especially right after that, because he was still recovering from being cut open and everything else.
Right.
But, yeah, he's going through that. And, of course, my wife is worried about herself.
Yeah.
Because she, after not smoking for 20 years, she started smoking again. But part of her smoking has to do with stress, and her mom's not doing well, and he's not doing well, and when stuff last year happened with a little Aiden, none of that stuff is is easy to manage.
Right. Yep. Well, yeah, I was going to say my cardiologist, the surgeon, I told her, I said, yesterday you told me I can't smoke anymore. I said, how serious about that are you, really? And she goes, actually, after talking to your doctor, she said, that's one of the last things I want you to do right now is to quit. She says, I'm going to hope that you'll quit down the road here a bit. But she said, as you recover from that surgery, I don't want you adding that. She says, try to control how much you're smoking because of the nicotine values, dilates your blood vessels, blah, 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 blah. But she said that if I were to try to cold turkey it during my recovery, she said that could end up being more of a bad thing than a good thing. And I appreciated that, she said, especially as much as she was against smoking in the first place. But yeah, she told me, she says, I don't want you to quit today. I hope you do down the road, but not today. And that's it. Cancer is a bummer because in so many cases, like you were saying, Phil, most guys, they're going to avoid that doctor until they absolutely can't.
Right.
And then they've stretched it too far. And I see my doctor once every 6 months, and then sometimes in between if I got a complaint,
Like my dad, he hadn't seen the doctor since he was 20, and he went to the doctors for the first time last year, and the doctor said to him, "We thought you was dead."
Yeah, never heard from you. Thought you were long dead. I got had a grandfather that it was amazing when he was 87 years old. he was feeling ill, and he said, I got this bump on my stomach, you know. And so my mom and dad talked him into going to see a doctor. And he had never seen anybody except his camp medic when he had a logging camp in his whole 87 years. So he didn't even know. When he saw the doctor scared the hell out of him. He goes, look at this guy. Look at, he's wearing a white coat. He's got that machine, that thing around, that tube around his neck. What the hell's he do, you know? And they talked him into letting them take x-rays. That freaked him out. He had never been to a doctor, a real doctor. And he had 3 growths in his stomach, and one was the size of a grapefruit. That's the one he could feel the lump, you know. They put him in surgery, which was a bitch. My dad almost had to handcuff him to get him in the hospital. They put him through surgery. He come out of surgery, the doctor said he did amazing. They said his vitals are great, he's doing good. And you know, 4 or 5 days in the hospital, he'll be recovered enough to go back home. And that same day, hospital calls us and tells my dad, yeah, Grandpa Docky just disappeared. We don't know where he is. My dad took off in the squad car to head out to that hospital. Halfway there's that old boy walking down the side of the road, just wearing the gown, not a robe, so his old ass is hanging out. And he's just full-legged old fart walking down the side of the road. He's heading home. And all the way back to the hospital, he kept telling my dad, if you make me spend the night there, I'll be dead tomorrow. My dad saying, not from what the doctor's saying. The doctor says you're recovering great. So we just got to get you back, and you got to stay in bed for just a few days, then you'll be back home. 7 o'clock next morning, whole family sitting around the breakfast table. Phone rings, and my dad answers it, and they said, no, he just passed away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, passed away the next morning, and they said in his sleep that he passed away. He told my old man, you make me spend the night there, I'll die. He says, that's all people go to them places for, is to die. He said, if you go there and get something fixed, get the hell out of there, because people die in there. You got to just get it fixed and get the hell out of there. That's okay. You know, what do you say to an old boy that's never seen a doctor till he was 87, you know?
Right.
Yeah. You can try to tell him he was wrong all day long, but in his heart and mind, doctors and hospitals were there because you were dying, not because you're going to make it. Yeah.
Yeah, they're actually there to keep you alive, so you got to go see them before it's too late.
Oh, what are you going to see tomorrow morning? I missed something.
Rebecca Felter did the 1-chip challenge.
Oh,
I was told
wow.
a couple of days ago, I think she told me that she did it, and I don't know why or how it slipped my mind, but I did set an alarm on my phone with a reminder for 9 a.m. tomorrow morning when I get to work to remember to watch it. So
yes, I got yep. I'm tagging it.
See, Rebecca, see you, yeah. See now, now you're living in my world. If you had cramps, Rebecca.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're living in my world. I do not like them. But, Rebecca, if you partake in anything that involves THC will take the edge off of the cramps. If you just saying.
Especially when you accidentally have that first gummy that you were unawares of.
I did that Saturday after everything was said and done.
Mm-hmm.
And for a few hours, it helped take the edge off. And again, it doesn't completely take it away, but it definitely takes, keeps me from sweating profusely and being on my knees on the ground and wanting to, stab myself with a knife just to get the pain out of me.
Right. Can I cut this out of me?
But remember when you're telling you, about 1 o'clock in the morning, well, that's everything wore off at that point. and I considered it again, but I hate the way it makes me feel.
Yeah.
Some people will do that stuff and they like it. I don't like the way it makes me feel. I don't mind doing it to take the pain away.
Right.
But when I do it, I just sit there. I don't move, and I feel everything. I don't feel the pain here, but everything else I feel.
Uh-huh.
I feel the hairs on my arms, the hairs on my legs. I feel everything.
Yeah.
And I can't go to sleep. I'd love to go to sleep when I'm like that. It'd be like, if I could just go to sleep and it would be all, but for some reason, I could have my eyes closed, but I'm not sleeping. So.
Without gummies.
And every day, or at least every week, we find some new person that's a friend of ours, now that it's legal where we're at, that smokes the stuff,
Yeah.
or is doing something. It's like, me and the wife don't, again,
yep.
I've probably taken a half dozen gummies since the first ones ever came into my house, and usually it's for pain, except for
medicinal purposes.
Yeah, except for the first time I ever took it, which completely freaked me out. But
yeah,
that's a story in itself. But I was home, so everything was good. But
it was my doctor who told me about them. I suffer from sciatica.
Oh yeah,
I was in pain, and I was in that much pain the other week. I went to the doctor. Said, "You got to give me something for this." He said, "You ever tried gummies?" I went, "No." He said, "Get the lowest ones and try them." And I said, "I didn't know you could get them in England." He said, "You can get them in England, yes." And he gave me a website to go on, so I got them.
Really?
Jesus.
Yeah. See now, I'm curious as to what my doctor's going to say when I see her, either the end of September or first part of October, right around there, because my left leg sciatic nerve is so bad. There's times I'll wake up at night and I want to grab the handgun and undo it, just put an end to it all. It literally feels like somebody took a 3-foot long white hot iron and laid it down
and continuously just burning you with it.
Yeah, just laying it from my knee to my hip, and I just lay there, and it's like it's burning. And I mean, that one night it was only 41 degrees outside. I jumped out of my bunk and I went outside, tried to walk it off, and literally it felt like it was on fire, and the rest of my body was freezing. And that one leg felt like it was literally like there was a live fire from the knee to the hip. And it's painful as sin.
I didn't know I had it until I woke up one morning and I went, I can't move. I was actually laying in bed and I couldn't physically not move.
Yeah.
I have to crawl across the floor to the toilet. Mine's on my right side.
On the right side, yeah. Mine's on the left. In fact, it's acting up right now, and it's because I'm sitting here
because I'm sat in a funny place.
It all depends on how I'm sitting, how I got my legs crossed, that kind of thing. Or when I'm in bed, do I have that leg bent up? If I got it bent up, the knee bent up, and my heel towards my butt, I'll wake up and it's like, holy shit. And I end up being one-legged. Because that damn leg don't work. I mean, it hurts so bad. After eating that jerky, it's got me second guessing myself. Maybe, yeah, that hot stuff. Ooh. But yeah, I don't know what they do for sciatic nerve shit, and she warned me that I would probably develop that with the diabetes, eventually.
My doctor keeps telling me to go to acupuncture.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really? That cures a lot of people with sciatica. Huh. It's not cheap.
No, I
Expensive.
not anymore.
UK,
You
that's
what?
not free, huh?
Hey, me Dibble. Yeah, there you go again. Somebody's gonna say, "Oh, Sty's full of shit." You know, he couldn't have done so much in his life. Now, I'm not full of shit. Back in the '80s, when we had moved to Montana, I spent 6 months being trained for acupressure, doing acupressure, not puncture, and I had a ton of clients. I had a gal that she would suffer from shingles, and usually shingles would affect one side of your body or the other, one side of your spine or the other. And she'd come to me, and with acupressure, I could relieve all of that burning and the pain she was suffering, and her shingles would go away within a week.
Huh.
But acupressure, at first I thought it was a joke, but I had broken my back when I first moved to Montana. And it took me a long time to heal up. And during that process, I met these folks, and they said, "Well, would you let us do some acupressure on you, and we could probably relieve some of that back pain?" And I said, "Sure, I'll let you try." And they did. They managed to make that. Sty is full of shit. Yeah, cheesehead. Right. Yeah. If anybody's full of shit, it's you, because you can't take a shit because you're so constipated about yourself. Can you tell that cheesehead and I are friends? Because most guys I wouldn't say that to until I've had a 6-pack or 2 in my gut. Yeah, we know. Just let him talk. Yeah, see, he's just as bad, asshole. I mean, I would love to see Cheesehead and Spicy switch diets just for a month. It would kill both of them. Spicy would be going, "I haven't taken a shit in 3 weeks," and Cheesehead would have been saying, "Oh my God, I've got an ulcer, and I set the toilet on fire 4 times." Yeah, it would be great to see the two of them just swap diets for a month. That would, yeah.
The only time I've ever had a problem pooping,
No canned venison for me. Oh,
not
you
from
poop.
the spicy stuff, is from when I had I had some kind of something done, and they gave me anesthesia. Oh, for my abdominal hernia surgery. I
Oh,
didn't poop for like 2 days after that. I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" And then I Googled it, and they're like, "Oh, well, that's common after you've had anesthesia to sometimes not poop for a day or 2." So,
oh,
trust me, I poop more than once a day. Just saying.
that's
TMI, but
that's codeine, man. I will not take codeine
Yeah.
for pain.
If I have codeine, what these are.
See,
for days I don't go.
They tried solving my pain issue with Tylenol with codeine, right? And well, I was doubling up on them damn things and just taking as many as I could, try to keep that pain level down. And then all of a sudden I realized I've been crap for a few days. What's going on here? This is no crap. I'll tell you what, my pharmacist saved me. Literally, he saved my life. I became impacted. This is no kidding. No kidding. When I finally did relieve myself, it was 9 days had gone by.
Ooh.
And I was eating regular meals all of those days.
Ooh.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner. I was impacted all the way up into the small intestine. That was the worst pain I've ever lived through. I mean, it was so bad. My stomach bloated out, and if I tried to swallow something, I'd throw it right up because there's nowhere to go. My stomach was full. So if I tried to swallow something, there's no room even in my stomach for it. So it wouldn't even go down. I'd just throw it back up. I started running an extreme fever, blah, blah, blah. My ex-wife, she called the hospital, the emergency room, said, I'm thinking we need an ambulance, or I can just bring him in, but this is what, and she told them what was going on. They said, "Oh, he's just constipated. Don't waste your time bringing him in here.
He's full of shit. Don't waste your time."
Yeah, he's just full of shit. Don't waste our time. He's full of shit. And they told her, they said, have him take some laxatives. And she said he already has taken probably 4 times more laxative than what he's supposed to. And they said, well, then have him do an enema. And she said, he can't because you can't get it in him. He's impacted right from the back door all the way to the front door. So you can't even get an enema in him. And they're going, well, just let the laxative do their job. After about 10 hours, I finally, and she would attest to that. If I got her up on the panel, she'd attest. She'd say that was one of my worst moments, because I was calling her a cunt with a K. I always with a K, because I can't call her the real thing. That's not nice. But telling her, you go get my gun. Go get it. I wanted my handgun. I was going to do it in right then and there. I was going to take myself out, because nothing in the world would hurt more than that was hurting. She called our pharmacist and thought maybe he could call the hospital and convince them to take me in, that he could help out. He said, you get in the car, get down here to the pharmacy. I got something for you. And he gave her this weird liquid shit in this little bottle. He says it's only about 12 ounces. And what you do is when you get home, you make him throw up. You make him make room in his stomach for this. Make him throw up whatever he can, and then drink that. And as soon as he drinks it, get him on the crapper and have him sit there, and within 20 minutes, he'll be okay. She come home with that crap. I couldn't even taste it. I managed to drink it. I managed to throw up enough to be able to get that in my stomach. I sat on that crapper, and this is no lie. She'd attest to it because she had to deal with it. I filled that crap, a full-size toilet bowl. I filled it twice.
Ugh.
To the rim. I had to stand up to keep going. And then finally she said, stop, that's never going down. She went and got a yardstick, and she had to stir as she flushed to get it to go down. And I'm standing there pinching it, and I said, I can't wait any longer. And she said, there's room. Filled it right up to the top again, second time.
Mm.
We figured that I crapped out probably about 5 pounds of shit.
Oh. You got here at a great time with JCT.
Yeah, JCT. Now that story is over, we'll move on. But that was but I wasn't full of shit for weeks after that. Everything I told, there was no shit involved at all. Yeah.
That's why when the doctor gave me these for me back, he said to me, take them for 2 days and have 2 days of rest.
Because if you do that, it'll firm up. You'll take a good, healthy one, good, solid one during that 2 days of rest. And then once that's out of your system, you can take those again, and then you're going to do another real healthy one 2 days later. Yep. That's what they tried to tell me, is that you only take them for a couple days, then take a day.
I have done it where I haven't had a rest, and I have took them for the full week, and I've gone, no, I haven't been to the toilet for 7 days.
Yeah, that's scary, man. Well, after I had it all cleaned out, hey, Samson Farms, hello. And after I was all cleaned out, well, it's going to take a couple of days to build up enough to go again, because I'm empty, totally empty. But on the second day, I was already getting nervous. It's coming back. It's going to happen again. It's coming back. And then finally on the third day, I took a normal dump, and I'm like, oh, thank God there is a God. There is a God. I almost met him, though, a couple days before that. Boom, boom.
He was only full of
Then
shit. Why did he kill himself?
then I found out that the old lady went and grabbed all my firearms in the house when I was yelling at her, get my gun, get my gun. You know which one I want. Go get my gun. She goes, I'll be back. I'll be back. And I was just yelling at her, calling her everything under the sun. Get me my goddamn gun. What's taking you so long? Here, she took every gun out of the house, took them out to her car, put them in the trunk of the car, locked the trunk, took her keys, called a friend of hers to come over to the house, and they took my set of her keys and her set of keys, so I couldn't get in the car to get my guns. I just pissed me off. The next day, I had to haul all them guns back in the house.
What? Yeah, I may not have been in as much pain as you were, but I've talked about this with the cramps from the spicy stuff, where you're at the worst stage and you feel that if you were to take a sharp knife and stick it into your gut, you could somehow dig out what was hurting you inside, and somehow you would feel better. But common sense tells you, no, I would hurt longer doing something stupid like that. But the thought crosses your mind is like, if I could just get this out of me,
out somehow, out.
Yeah, right. But you just have to wait it out.
And that's and going through your mind is what exists that'll stop the pain. What would stop that pain?
Yeah.
And really nothing does. I've heard people talk about heat, cold, all of that. And my doctor, she laughed. She goes, no, that's an internal pain that you're not going to remedy by hot packs or cold packs. You're going to remedy it by waiting it out. And she says one of two things happens is it passes far enough through that the effect reduces itself, or it just gets diluted enough that your internal organs that are in such pain just kind of acclimate to it, and it's not as severe. She said, but you can't get rid of it. It's not. She says time gets rid of it.
Yeah, it's funny because you when you do something like what I do, you kind of get an idea of how your internal stuff works.
Yeah.
It only takes a couple hours for everything in your stomach to digest. Even if you've done something big, it only takes a couple hours to digest. But it's all in that small intestine. You have heat receptors in your small intestine too, which of course is pain.
Right.
So you're feeling the same pain in your mouth, and feeling it in your small intestine. Not until it gets to your large intestine. Your large intestine doesn't have any heat receptors in it, and then you don't feel any pain.
And the thing is the digestive process doesn't end until it enters your colon. Right. It doesn't. Your small intestine is drawing all the nutrients out, because your stomach is only there to break it down so that it can pass through the small intestine to have the nutrients pulled out of it.
Yeah.
And so it's going into your small intestine as hot as it went into your belly. And by the time it gets to your colon doesn't feel the pain like your small intestines and stomach does. And
only the soft tissue at the end of your colon when it comes out.
Armageddon. Armageddon.
Oh.
Armageddon. That is so cool. That's terrible. There ain't nothing like Armageddon.
No, that story you were telling me, Sty, before we went live, and I said, "Well, I got to listen to that again." You haven't told that story, have you?
What the hell were we talking about?
I don't know. I forget. Because that had to do with the maybe hanging around the camps longer.
Oh, yeah, I better go there, huh?
I mean, you got,
yeah.
we were. I had more people here earlier, but
Yeah, we had 20 some folk in. That's when I probably should have said something, but I'll depend on all you great folk out there to spread this around.
pass it along.
Okay, the front story that Phil already heard, I'll try to go through real quick because Phil doesn't have to bear that, because he feels I'm senile if I repeat anything. If the building was on fire and I ran in and yelled fire, Phil would expect everybody to get out with me yelling fire once, because if I yelled fire a second time, he'd go, that senile old bastard already said that. So anyway, folks, out at camp. So I believe most of you know I've been in camp since May 1st. That's May, June, July, August, 4 months. In a week, it'll be 4 full months that I was there. I'm going to be there the full month of September. That'll put me at 5 months. And guess what? I'm probably going to be there for half, maybe all of October. My supervisor came to camp a couple days ago, and I told Phil and Samantha, he was almost in tears begging me to stay on, because all of their campground hosts, and it's typical, all of the campground hosts, their duties end the day after Labor Day.
We were just talking about duty too.
Yeah, duty. Yeah, no more duties. They're going to end up like me, impacted. No, anyway, and some of them I think are too constipated anyway. But so on September 8th this year, all of the campground hosts are gone. They turn all their gear in, everything, and they pack up and they head home. They're done for the season. Some of them had been there will have been there for 4 months. Very few of them, the soonest any of them start is a couple days before Memorial Day, the end of May. So I've already been there a month longer than any other host. Now, what happens is all those hosts leave, and typically our ranger district, with all of our campgrounds in it, has our rangers then go to those campgrounds and clean all the bathrooms, make sure there's toilet paper and the bathrooms are clean, blah, blah, blah. Well, the hosts also do all the reservations for people that reserve campsites. But as of September 10th, you can't reserve campsites anymore. So we go around, collect all those reservation signs, and it's all first come, first serve. Whoever wants to camp. You get there, you find an empty site, take it, pay for that. Well, this year we've got AmeriCorps volunteers coming in. And they've got a bunch of trail projects and other campground projects that they're putting these AmeriCorps students, they're all college students, they're putting them to work on. And it's a much larger crew than they typically would have. And they got to take advantage of it while they can, because they don't have to pay for these folks. This is free labor, right? But they need rangers to supervise these crews while they do this work. So they won't have rangers to clean the bathrooms available. And he's juggling, trying to figure out, how do I keep the bathrooms clean and stocked if all my hosts are gone? So he asked me, he said, would you be willing to manage the bathrooms of 5 campgrounds? And I said, for how long? He said, the 1st of October. He said, middle of October, the end of October, depending on weather. He says, we'll get you out of there no matter what before Halloween. I said, yeah, I'd be scared to stay in them campgrounds over Halloween. all them spooks out there, especially the campsite I'm in, where they still haven't found that dead guy. But anyway, I'm not going to repeat myself, Phil.
No, of course not.
I'm not gonna tell the story of the dead guy.
Not tonight. You won't. You will eventually.
Eventually, I'll repeat it.
Yeah, eventually you'll tell it again.
In fact, I do want to bring him up, not on this stream, but down the road. Probably when I'm doing a stream from camp, I'll bring it up. The right setting, right where he disappeared from. But I got in a long conversation with a fellow that was involved with the search and recovery in this case, trying to find the body. But yeah, I got a long kind of rant tale to tell about our lost man Richard. Anyway, so I'd have 5 campgrounds. Travis from Destination Great Lakes is also a host. Now he's offered to come out to his campground on weekends for as long as they would like him to. But he can't during the week. He has to go home on Sundays, can't get back until Friday evenings. So Monday through Friday, there's nobody to keep an eye on the bathrooms. If they have a lot of campers, I'll tell you what, they wipe the toilet paper out. Yeah. So I'd have to take care of his 2 campgrounds. His campground's about 25 miles away from mine. So that's a 50-mile round trip just onto his campground and back. His second campground is another 10 miles out of the way. So turns into about a 70-mile round trip by the time I'm done. So I would do his campgrounds one day. The following day, I would have a campground that has almost 50 campsites. Plus, they've got a big recreation area with a double outhouse, and they've got a trailhead for an ATV trail with a big outhouse on it. So I'd have to do 7, 8, 9. I'd have to do 9 bathrooms at that campground the following day. Then the third day, I would do my campground and my other campground. Fourth day, I'd head back down to do Travis's again and keep that routine going straight out to the end of October. That would mean I cannot get back here to do Wednesday night live streams. So I've got a new phone. I've got a service package that gives me plenty of data and the ability to stream. Got my fingers crossed. If all goes well, I'll be able to stream right from camp. So it doesn't matter because it'll take me about 4 to 6 hours a day, depending on how bad the campgrounds are, to do my campground work. But that's not much. I start at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm done by 2 o'clock in the afternoon. On a bad day, gives me all afternoon and that night, that evening to live stream. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and do it. He tried to bribe me, give me 2 new T-shirts that say Great Divide Ranger District on the front and huge, big, bold letters on the back. I thought the shirt was handy to grab, but maybe it is.
Sty's withering away to nothing.
I'll be right back.
Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, I'm going to say another month and a half, and all I get is these 2 stupid T-shirts. Great. I'd ask for cash at that point. I'm no longer a volunteer. Volunteers all leave at the September. Now I need to be a paid person.
Okay, I don't know how this is going to work. Oh, maybe it will show. It's dark enough blue that it might show up. But they're nice T-shirts. I mean, at least they didn't get cheap on us, you know. But
You can't see the logo.
damn it.
There's
what?
no showing your background.
Yeah. Great
Yeah,
Divide. I
just
can
see
see
it.
that though. That's cool.
Yeah.
Great Divide, Ranger District,
Nice.
U.S. Forest Service. And then the back. Yeah, that's worse yet.
No, you can read that easy. Forest Service volunteer. There you go.
Yeah.
And it only
Forest-
took you 4 months to get a couple. Wow.
Well, he figures I'll be wearing them next year, right?
Right?
That's presumptuous. But so he brings me 2 nice new t-shirts, and he says it's going to get cold towards the end of September. And he said, I know that you use your Coleman lantern to heat your trailer because my trailer is so small. And I run the lantern just before I go to bed. Well, I got a 30-degree sleeping bag, and I've got a 40-degree sleeping bag, thinner one. And I use those. And if I'm warm when I crawl in those, I'm good till morning. Hell, I get up in the morning, I light my lantern, and it's 65, 70 degrees in there in about 15 minutes, and I'm up and ready to go. So he says, but that'll take quite a bit of propane for you to be doing that every night, and every morning. He says, so I'll get you the propane you're going to need to run your lantern as much as you need to keep warm. And he says, and all of the generator gas you can burn. He says, so run your Jenny whenever you're there. He says, use 110, let your batteries rest. And I said, okay.
At least you can. I mean, if you don't have any campers, there's no restriction on turning that shit off, right?
Well, that's it. If there's nobody in the campground, I'll just let that damn thing run till midnight if I want. But if I got a camper in there, I'll shut her down by 10 o'clock at
You're
night.
respectful.
I'm not required to, actually. They don't require the hosts to shut their Jennies down at the 10 o'clock hour.
But it's hard to tell everybody else to when you're running.
But all of us do it just out of setting the example.
Right.
I never have let my generator run past 8:45.
Okay.
At least an hour before quiet time, I want it shut down. And it's only been a couple times I've ran it actually after 7:30 at night. Because by sunset, I want to sit and I want to listen to the loons and watch the stars come out,
Listen to the loons for about an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah, I'm telling you. They're damn loons. Looney Tunes, yeah. But I look at it this way, folks. Content might suffer as far as actual video work, but I'm hoping live streams can replace it. I'll have enough live streams to fill in some gaps throughout the week, and I think it'll be a kind of a neat learning experience. And when I told him I'll do it. Man, that boy was so happy. But he is damn near doing backflips out of there. He said we've never had a host that stuck it out postseason after reservations, and our hosts pack up and they're the hell out of Dodge.
Well, Travis is like Travis.
Yeah.
Travis is a teacher, right?
Right. That's why he can only be there on weekends.
Right.
And he's good with it. He says, because our supervisor told him, you can keep your trailer there, keep the camp set up, and just come out on weekends. And Sty and the Rangers will stop and check on your host site, make sure nobody's breaking into your shit or nothing. And so that's the scoop. That's the scoop. Sty's going to have close to 6 months that will have lived in camp this year. And
anyway, I'm going to come up. It's time for me to go for a walk.
Oh, he's got to take the stroll.
We'll see you back.
As long as you're not walking the Green Mile.
No. Walking the Green Mile.
Walking the Green Mile.
Right.
Dead
Thanks
man,
for letting me
dead
up.
man walking. Dead man walking.
Dead man.
God, I gotta watch that movie again.
I haven't seen it for years.
I've only watched it about 5-6 times, you know.
Right. Thanks for letting me up.
Oh, thanks for coming up, man. Yeah.
Right.
You always
Okay.
watch for that invite that when it goes out, you know, so you get the link.
That's when I saw it earlier. Let's click it.
There you go. Yeah, do that more often, buddy. It's great to see you.
Shut up. Right. I'll catch you all soon.
See you, Dojo. Love you, brother.
Yeah, take good care.
You
man.
all.
Yeah, it's great. Great to see Dojo for a change. Hey, John, got storms coming your way. Hey, you take good care of yourselves. And I'm looking forward to seeing you Labor Day weekend.
Yeah,
They
we're getting Labor Day. We're going to close on that Saturday, which we wouldn't normally do at the dealership. Of course, we're going to be closed Monday for Labor Day, so we got those 3 days off. And a lot of it's got to do with inventory, right? You know, that makes sense. You know, if you don't have shit, you know, they're going to close down the entire campus. But my day off that week happens to be Friday.
Oh, wow. So you're going to get a 4-day weekend?
And they're not going to tinker with the schedule so that people that have like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, those other days, they're going to get their days off. They're not going to tinker with it where I don't get mine. So it looks like I'm going to have a 4-day weekend.
4-day weekend. Awesome.
It looks like that's what's going to happen. So I'm actually looking forward to that. But
yeah, awesome. If my streaming experiments work, I'm hoping to stream one evening with Jan and John.
That'd be cool.
You know, the three of us just sitting there and on the camera and coming up and having a stream. I know my campgrounds are, they're pretty well. They're better than 90%.
I wonder, because when I first got my GoPro, I went live on my GoPro because I had Wi-Fi. I wonder if you could go live on your GoPro using your phone as a hotspot. But that would just be YouTube. It wouldn't be StreamYard, so wouldn't be what you want to do.
It's weird because on the GoPro 8, what you do to stream is different than you have to on the 7.
Right. Okay.
And the 7 was kind of complicated. I didn't like what I had to go through to be able to stream on it.
Gotcha.
But one thing I'm looking at is if I use my hotspot, I can use my laptop. Then I can use my external, not the laptop camera, but my external webcam off my laptop. So, yeah, it's like I told Running Water. Right now with this new phone and the service package I have, I got 101 options that I got to try out, you know, to see what's going to work best. You know, it's
I personally would just one day when you're not real busy, just do an impromptu live, and you'll have people show up. Put the link in the chat. And see how it goes.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple through StreamYard and just put them to YouTube private, and then go back and replay them and see how they went. You know, see, is the audio good? Is the visual good? You know, if they work, then that's what I'm going to do is I'll just do a surprise live from camp or watch me screw this up kind of live stream, you know, and just like you're saying, that's where I'll see, can I run it so that I can bring someone on the panel running off my phone data? If I can, that's awesome. If not, then I'll have to then experiment some more and do it through the hotspot, because through the hotspot, that's just like any other internet connection.
You would think.
With the phone data, I can only run it through the phone. I can't run it through an exterior device, where the hotspot is just nothing but a Wi-Fi internet connection,
Right.
I don't have my hopes super high, but I do have them up there. I got my hopes up there that we'll be able to do something. We're gonna work our way through it. That's right.
I mean, you've done really well putting out videos practically every day from the previous week, and building your subscriber count. Your subscriber count is probably built better the last 4 months
Than it
putting out
has in
videos than if you're doing lives.
Yeah, my subscriber count now is I'm only 70 people shy of 4,000, hitting 4,000.
Wow.
So that's amazing. I was so shocked. I was so shocked to see that. And the thing is, some weeks I had a video for every day I was gone. Some weeks I only have 2 videos pop up. Now that's this coming week. I've got one coming up Friday and one coming up Sunday. It's the only 2 I was able to pound out this week. I was so damn busy in camp, and that's where I was I'm getting this phone thing set up today. When I got here this morning, that's first thing on my mind was get my phone squared away so that I can possibly live stream, because then those live streams, they probably won't be very long. They might be 1 hour live streams, but then those work more like content, the shorter live streams. So until I get back home in the end of October, Halloweeny. Yeah.
What's up, Yoran?
Yoran.
Give me a second. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Good morning, Yoran. I have to run this for the folks that come and watch after the fact, because folks do that. Please don't anybody go anywhere. This only takes 1 minute to play, and I want to show off my members. That's all. Hey, Nicholas Green, it's good to see ya. Oh, Nicholas. Yeah, man, I wouldn't mind a nice long campfire with you. You and your buddy Travis, that'd be fun. Yeah. God, it was so much fun having Nick and his buddy Travis at camp this summer. I got to catch up on your videos there, Nicholas. I was looking this afternoon, and I'm so far behind on everybody's video work, and I kind of set myself up a wish list of the ones that I haven't seen yet. Get in there and check them all out. Hey, Scott K, great to see you. So, but yeah, Nicholas, he's been doing some video work himself, And then Adventures in the Heartland, I try to catch theirs when they get them up. But now, again, with the new phone I have and the data package, I got unlimited streaming. I can stream, so I can go now during the week and watch all you folks' videos, which it'll take me a while to get caught up, but I'm going to get on there and get myself caught up. But I gotta rewatch and comment. Oh, there you go.
Did you see the picture on Facebook of Nicholas Green with a bald head?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it looked like he had shaved his head.
Serious.
It looked like that.
It looked like that.
Except he had used a filter in
Uh-huh.
order to make it look like that.
Yeah.
Because I think he had finally let everybody in on what was going on, because I think everybody realized. I mean, it looked real. I think everybody was like, "What the fuck did you do, you dumb kid?" You know.
You got to wait until you're in your 60s, like old Sty, you know.
You know, when you become follically challenged, you shave your head. Not now.
Well, I realized a few weeks ago, because my it's longer. You know, it's maybe almost half an inch long now, but yeah, except for back here, it's not even there back here. So yeah, keeping it buzzed off makes sense. I'm getting the old family dome back here. That's the thing is you look at the men in your family history and you go, oh my God. Oh yeah. I better not get any big scars on my head, because it's going to be well exposed when I get older. So, you aren't seeing that picture. There he is.
There he is. What's up, Nicholas?
What's up? I'm on my laptop because my computer always crashes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, good to see your hair again, boy.
That's my wig.
Yeah,
That's
he
your
pulled
wig,
it.
okay.
He pulled it out of his dresser drawer and threw it on for us. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I scared a lot of people.
I think you did too, because I was starting to think, well, maybe the dumb kid just shaved his head.
Could be. Never know.
Is that your mom that commented on that?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure. You know, I saw the last name Green. I mean, it could be, you know, any relative, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Oh boy.
So much for Starlink. I still haven't had anything from that.
Oh
but-
shit! I should have just sent you my kit. I sent my kit back to them.
They just sent it?
They sent it to me. They sent it to me a week and a half ago. I get out to camp. I got that brand new box. It's got all the equipment in it. Hadn't even opened the box. Get out there, and that's the first time I managed to get my hands a phone with the app, so I could figure out where it would best sit. Yeah, it'd best sit somewhere else. There's nowhere in that campsite where I can get enough view of their satellite array for it to function right. It said that my connectivity was a negative 13 seconds. So it says, and then the best we could find was a positive 12 seconds. After every 12 seconds, there would be a blackout, a disconnect. They said that it would be reconnecting every 12 seconds.
See, here it would have worked great here because I'm in the middle of a field. But
yeah.
I just got an email from the internet that we have now, and next Friday they're coming to hook us up to fiber. And
oh shit!
A gigabyte per second guaranteed.
Well, cancel your Starlink, get your deposit back.
Yep.
And I have to say, Starlink is good about that. I shipped my box back, never opened the damn thing, they give you a prepaid shipping label to send it back. slapped it on their head, FedEx deliver it. Well, they got it. And this morning I get contacted by one of their, I can't remember what they call those people, that they assign somebody to your account to be your contact person. Well, they emailed me and said, we received your kit. It came back. And I have just one question. Did you ever open the box? And I responded back, nope, never opened the box. And they said, oh, good. They said, because our receiving department, when they got it, they couldn't see any sign of it ever being opened. And they weren't sure what to do with it because our policy is to open the box and inspect all of the contents before we refund your money. The problem is your box looks like it's never been tampered with ever. And they wanted to know, do we send that back into inventory? Or do we go ahead and open it and do the inspection? Well, she wrote me this big, almost a book about what they do. And what they do is they open the box, they inspect everything, everything's good. Then they send that open box to this other department. They go through and make sure that there's no dings or scratches and stuff. Repackage it all in brand new packaging in a brand new box and put it in inventory to be shipped out to another customer. Well, mine, she says, thanks for the information. Yours is going directly back into inventory, and your refund will be, you'll see your refund between 6 and 9 days. So, and she also said that I get 100% of my refund. My $99 deposit, I get and the $480 they charge me to send me the kit.
Yeah.
The difference there, why it seems like a hell of a lot more than $500, is the shipping and taxes and everything that's added onto it. And she said in the email that they don't keep the shipping, they don't keep the taxes. All of it comes back to me. So 100%, as long as you cancel and get it back to them within 30 days. And I did.
Yeah.
I did. So
yeah, there's some with the dishes, like once a lot of them are like region locked, and
that's it. That's why I didn't keep it, is I contacted them and I said, it's not going to work in that location. If I can find a different location, can I, and they said no. They said I can, as long as it's within the same zip code, but I can't go outside of that zip code.
Yeah.
And because I was going to bring it home, we're going to set it up over at Running Waters, and he could get rid of his $100 of the month Spectrum and use the Starlink instead, because he's got big open view all over too, Hell, if he put it on the roof of his house, he could probably get a view south of the equator, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I'm just happy that because for the gigabyte, for 300 megabytes, it was $10 extra onto what we normally had for 2 megabytes. And then it was $20 and then $30 for a gigabyte.
Uh-huh.
But it's just straight fiber cable.
Right.
So
yep.
I won't have to worry about mounting or a signal, or which we get the best signal that we could ever have around here. But I probably only get about half a gigabyte most of the time with it.
Jeez.
Which is still a lot, but
half a gigabyte. Yeah, that's
like I said, I have two megabytes. That is what I run off of, is 2 megabytes. So everything I do with YouTube or like anything I try to do online, it's like impossible half the time.
Yeah. Well, that's a nice thing too. Is I like with my new phone is it it runs on 5G and 4G at LTE at the minimum. And if you got a good strong signal, yeah, it shouldn't have any lagging issues or anything. But boy, oh boy, oh boy, nobody wanted to. No, Samantha was laughing her tail off before the stream tonight when I was telling her how I dealt with cell phone companies today. T-Mobile pissed me off so damn much. I drove 4 freaking hours today just to get pissed off at T-Mobile. I had to drive all the way to Duluth, Minnesota, nearest T-Mobile store. They used to have one here in Ashland. Find out today it's closed, that they shut her down. So I had to go all the way up to Duluth. And there's a detour. So it takes an hour and 50 minutes to get there. Usually about an hour on any other day. And I get there, and all they did was BS me, give me a bunch of grief.
That's why I buy Walmart phones.
Oh, thank you so much, Lorna Jones. Thank you. That's great. Hey, Timothy Parker, great to see you. Celebrate groovies before going to bed. Hit 1,000. There you go. Yeah, you finally hit 1,000. Cool. Totally understand, my friend.
All right, man.
Totally understand.
Hey, guys, I appreciate you having me up here tonight, Sty. Good to see you again, Nick. Glad to see you didn't shave the dome.
That it wasn't real.
Enjoy that mop as long as your mop looks just like my 18-year-old boy. So all right, guys. Have a great night.
Thanks.
Everyone in the chat, have a great
Thanks,
night, guys.
buddy.
Love you guys.
You have a great week, Phil. I'll be watching for you.
All right, man. Thanks.
You bet. Bye. But yeah, so T-Mobile just pissed me off. Travis from Destination Great Lakes gave me this Pixel 3 camera. Well, that's a sweet camera. It's almost $1,000 when he got this camera. Great camera. The one I got, it's close but not quite to this Pixel 3. I really wanted this Pixel 3. Well, Travis is going to get it back because I couldn't use it. The T-Mobile told me that the SIM card in here is specific for T-Mobile, that I could not use that SIM card for a different carrier. And so I thought, well, I want T-Mobile anyway. And we got to talking, and they were jacking me around. I looked online at their packages, and I said, I want that mega something mega 55 plus would have been $45 a month. And I thought it'd be pretty good because you get 40 gigs of hotspot with it. And I thought, yeah, that'll be a good package. And it seems like people were having fair luck with T-Mobile down there at camp off of our tower. And he's jacking me around, and he wants this add-on and that add-on, and you're going to have to this. You're going to have to buy a separate hotspot. You're not going to be able to hotspot right off that phone, and this that. Finally, I told him, I said, I get this gut feeling you're just full of shit. You're just trying to sell me more than I want. I said, can I talk to somebody else? And he told me flat out, no, you're stuck with me. And I said, I'm glad we didn't get the service on this phone and you talked to me that way, because I would have told you to bend over because this fucking phone's coming home. I said, I'll never, ever use T-Mobile because of you. And I stormed out of there pissed off. I come back here to Ashland, and I got a Verizon package. And
when I got my new phone, because I had this, it was like $80 at Walmart. And then I just get the prepaid plan that you get a month.
Right.
Then eventually, I was a couple hours from home. It was my fall camping trip, and I went to a Walmart down there. And for like the prepaid, what I normally did, they had an iPhone XR, and it was like
Uh-huh.
half. You had to
Yeah.
get the black one because they had all these different colors.
Right.
But it was a black one, and it was half off. Like they just had a ton of them or something. I don't know if it was exclusive to certain stores,
Uh-huh.
but I got it. It was like half off, and then I
Yep.
just put my the prepaid service to it.
Yeah. I got my Galaxy for half off. You know, the the iPhone I was looking at. He goes, "That's a sweet phone," and I go, "Yeah, I want that." And he goes, "Yeah, so do a lot of other people. They're out of stock." I said, "I son of a bitch, shit." So the guy at Walmart was starting to piss me off too. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like
But finally, I got a good package put together. So
anything like that, I'll do the prepaid stuff because in the end, it's just annoying.
Mhm. Yeah, I got mine set up. I got it. It's prepay, but I got it on auto pay, so I'm saving $5 a month doing auto pay. But I can cancel the auto pay anytime I want, and then you just have to buy the service each month again.
It's
You
pretty
know,
much
you
what I
can go
pay.
back. There's no contract, so you can do whatever you want.
It's 50. It's a $45 plan, but it comes out to 50 a month. And for auto refill, it's like $1 off. But
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
there's points.
Right. That mine. I get points off that, and um, it's the ultimate ultra something plan. It's the biggest plan they actually have, unless you went with their international plan, which actually for the money sucks. Unless you're making a lot of international calls, that's bullshit. The So I took their best plan. That works out $50 a month. You know, after taxes, it's right at about $52 a month, something like that. And so yeah, I used to, Timothy, I'd done a few videos with phone, but I've always had my Vixie 800s and my GoPros, and I always had cameras.
I
So
used
hey,
it
it's scrapping together.
for a video in the spring. I used it, and it's a lot clearer than my camera. Surprisingly, I mean, my camera you can get it to where it's that clear, but the phone it just automatically did it.
Yeah,
But I have to set up an audio system or something. I don't know.
because the audio is not.
It's
Yeah,
more of a,
well,
like I don't have a camera and I want to film this.
yeah.
Like it was mushroom hunting and I didn't have a camera and I found them.
Yeah.
So
Yep, got to pull out the phone, make best of what you got. That's one thing with this phone. It's got 4 freaking cameras in it, man. And so before the stream, I ran out of time. I'm in there trying to figure out, okay, how do I select which camera? Trying to see the quality of each, and I got 2 of them. And it's just I ran out of time. I go, oh shit, I'll work on that shit tomorrow. But yeah, each camera. Well, you got the front and back camera, and then on the back you got 2 additional cameras, and they're different quality. Yeah. So yeah.
it looks like mine's cracked, but that's the screen protector.
Yeah. I got to get a case for mine because to me it's too exposed. I'll be beating the shit out of it if I don't get a case.
Well, my friends, they have cases to where like you can see their phone, like it shows the Apple but I got this big bulky OtterBox, and I mean this is fell and tumbled and hit the wall and hasn't broke.
Yeah. My phone. I got some good pockets in my hiking gear that I put them in. They're pretty safe, and otherwise, like in my work truck at the Forest Service, there's one shelf on the dash it's got a rubber surface. Phone sits there and doesn't even wiggle, man. It ain't coming off there, so it's safe there. And then in the King Ranch, I got a phone clip that I put it in, and it's safe there. So pretty close to being 100% secure, unless I get clumsy and fall out of my trailer while it's in my hand, you know.
I'm glad with this it has the the charging. You can just set it on the pad and then it charges.
That would be nice.
In my truck, I have it's a holder, and you just clip it onto that, and I can play the music there without really going on my phone when I'm driving, and then
yeah,
it charges. But I had this thing was $35 for this like pad charger from Apple, and that thing cannot charge near as good as the thing in my car. My truck.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, bells and whistles, you know. Bells and whistles. Well, now with this phone, what I'm gonna like is I can catch up on people's videos, man. I sit in my trailer at night and I read, or I watch a movie on the laptop, and it's gotten pretty freaking old. Now I can jump on there, I can get the news, I can watch people's videos. Shit. Now I'll be much happier after dark out at camp. God, you should have been to camp now that we got this firewood dealer, this vendor that sets up these firewood racks at our campgrounds. Oh my God, he keeps bringing me firewood. I said, quit bringing me that shit, man. I got so much firewood, I don't know what to do with it all. So I've been having campfires every frickin' night and trying to burn 3 armloads just to get rid of it. And now I think he's learned, don't bring me any more the rest of the damn season. He says, oh, but you keep an eye on my firewood rack and this and that. I want to pay you back. I said, fuck that. I don't care. Don't bring me any more wood. I've been giving wood away to a few people. Boy, he'd get pissed if he found out I was giving his wood to, you know, if a camper ain't got the money to stick in the box to grab a bundle, I'll take an armload of mine here.
Has it been pretty busy there?
Yeah. All summer, I only had 2 weeks where it was real quiet. I had 1 week where I had 4 days without a single camper in the whole campground. Those 4 days were nice, man. There's nobody there. But otherwise, it's always been anywhere from 3 to 9 campsites full. You know, we're full up pretty much. And the other campground, Beaver Lake, that's been real busy too. The sounds like a great problem to have, huh? Yeah, I can't complain because of the hosting season went good. And I've got the hosting duties down to the point where shit doesn't even seem like I'm doing anything anymore, you know.
When does it end? Like you stay there?
Well, they want to keep the campground open as long as they can, as long as the weather permits. The minute they think there's going to be snow, they'll lock the gates. They'll shutter right down. They'll let all the campers in the campground know they got 1 or 2 days to finish up their camping and get the hell out, you know, and then they lock the gates. So as far as if they can, they'll even go into November because we get deer hunters and the like that stay in the campgrounds. And the only thing I don't want to be there for that shit. Because your campgrounds end up with every Tom and Harry Dick out there with their firearms out in their campsites, which is a big no-no. And you end up with people putting meat poles up. You know, they're strapping a log across 2 trees in their campsite, and they got deer hanging from them. And your campground ends up looking like base camp for deer hunting, you know. And I don't want, and all them guys, firearms and booze. I don't want to be there. I don't want to be anywhere near them folks. I was a firm believer in no booze in deer camp. If you plan on going out in the morning, you ain't drinking tonight and heading out of here still half tanked up in the morning with a firearm. You know, and then if you want to drink in camp, that's fine, but all the firearms get locked up. Oh, we're getting an echo there, Nick.
An echo?
Yeah, what did you do?
What about now?
I don't know. No echo. I can hear myself.
No echo?
I can hear myself. Yeah, it was good just a couple minutes ago. There, now I'm not hearing nothing. Not hearing nothing at all now.
I don't have no clue.
I don't know. I don't see. I love that. I had a few streams where people are saying, Sty, this and that is happening. And I'm going, and everybody on the panel is going, I don't see it. I don't hear it. And I'm going, everything on my side looks good. And it's funny when someone says, yeah, you're buffering and this and that. And I'm going, okay, I'll take a look at my performance. And I'm going, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm uploading at 16. There's no way in hell I'm buffering. And they're going, oh, yeah, you're buffering on my end. Well, it's your end then.
Yeah, like you've been like frozen and like jumping on the screen the whole time I've been in here.
Mm-hmm. On this end, it's been smooth.
Yeah.
You a couple of times have hicced up, a little hiccup, but not a solid freeze or anything.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, soon, the internet, I'm not gonna know what to do. I just won't know what to do. I might die.
Just have fun. I mean, there's nothing like uploading a half-hour long video and it takes you 10, 12 minutes. And it's done.
If it was a gigabyte, it would take me, like, if you pretty much because processing, it would take me like 30 seconds to upload a normal size, like 15-minute video of mine.
Yeah. Well, that's like right now with me running at 100 plus down and 16 plus up. I uploaded my 2 videos today. Each of them were 10 minutes long each. And they took, well, by the time I got through all the steps, you know, monetization, all the tabs you go through to upload, I'd only get to the monetization side of it and it would say done uploading. And then by the time I get to schedule it, it comes back HD done processing. And it's like, it's done before I am. I'm not even done telling it what to do, and it's done.
If I got like a gigabyte
I love it.
internet, okay, a video is a gigabyte, it's probably going to take like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But then there's the processing, but literally it would be seconds. Like,
yeah.
Seconds.
You're going to love it. You're going to love it. Yeah.
Well, I can't even, it's not like I'm a gamer, but I cannot play my games with friends because the whole time I'm trying to talk to them or even play a game, it's just lagging, kicking me out. And
yeah.
Videos,
See,
I really I like live streaming.
When I was out at the old camp, I had HughesNet out there. And we had the perfect clear sky, and it would lock right on that satellite. Best signal you could get with HughesNet. And I had the best data package you could get with HughesNet. And I'd go to post a 15 frickin' minute video, and I always timed it so that I go through all the steps and start the posting at about 11 o'clock at night. That way, when I got up at 7 in the morning, made my coffee, by the time I had my cup of coffee and sat down at the computer and fired it up, took a look at where it was at, it finally was finishing and I could close it. All freaking night.
Usually,
All night for a 10, 15 minute video. Piss me. God, that would piss me
a
off.
lot of people don't realize that when a video messes up when it's uploading or something happens, it's going to take another day or two for me to do it with me trying my hardest, because I can get a video up 10 minutes long within 10 hours. I just can't do it. It will not. Can't.
It's a pain in the ass.
If I post a video at midnight,
you're going to go nuts because you're going to be able to post 5 or 6 videos a day without even thinking about it. Where 5 or 6 videos are the next 5 or 6 weeks. You know.
I wanted to start like a gaming channel. Whenever I just kind of play, there's a couple of like farming games I play. I want to start that separately, and I could easily do both if I could just get this stuff uploaded quick enough. Because the problem is, if I'm uploading a video, it's not like, okay, the video is going to take that long, but it's normal. It kills the internet. I cannot go on my phone.
See, that's the thing is, if you you don't know how many times, Nick, that I'd be uploading a video, I'd have Filmora running in the background, I'd be rendering another video, and at the same time, I'm on Amazon Prime watching a movie. All of it going at the same time and not a single hiccup. And it's just like, And I think back to my HughesNet days where it'd take all fucking night just to upload one video, small video. And I think, no, I'm glad that shit changed. Otherwise, I would not have a YouTube channel. I mean, it is so tough. It is so tough for you to have to do that.
It's a big part of it. It's not, people don't understand. There's a lot of stuff that goes on here, and then the internet part comes in, and that just shuts everything down, because it's like, I did this, good, I got that done, and then I could go through torment for a couple of videos. There were multiple days where it sucked up all the internet, and I finally got it up, and then there was something messed up from it. I don't know, something happened. So that's another bit. And people are like, why am I being lazy? It's because I can't.
It's not, you're not being lazy. Your internet's what's lazy.
I can't upload it. And it sucks because it just makes me not excited to upload a video.
Right. That's why when I first started out and I had that slow internet for 2 years, I never told people when to expect something. Because same thing. I'd spend 5 hours waiting on a video to upload, and then something would go to shit on it. What? Now I got to start from scratch. I got to delete that YouTube upload because it's just a draft and it's only part of the video. Delete that son of a bitch and start fresh. And now I got another 10 hours of waiting for that damn thing to upload. And people would say, why haven't we seen a video in a few days? Because I spent all the few days trying to upload one for you. It took me a half hour to film the damn thing. It took me another half hour to edit it. And it's taken me 3 days to finally get a good copy up to YouTube.
I like filming. I like editing. But then the internet hits. And also, like with the internet, what was I going to say? There was something annoying I was going to say. It always does. I can't remember. It don't matter anymore, though.
Yeah. That's cool. When are they going to get you that internet?
Next Friday, they're going to run the cable to here.
Awesome. That's cool. Yeah, we got fiber to our building, which really sucks. we got cable internet throughout the whole building. I can get up to 400 here in the building off the cable, but I can get a terabyte off of the fiber if they'd run fiber through the building. But the building owners, the management here keeps saying that they're not, because they have to pay for part of the installation of fiber to all 82 apartments here, and they don't want to carry the cost. And almost everybody I talked to in the building said, hell, how much would be our share to help get fiber into our apartments, and maybe we can carry some of that cost, but the managers here are saying, nope, just not going to happen. And it pisses us off because the fiber tower is sitting right out there. It's there. It's just, and the carrier says, oh yeah, we're ready to make your whole building fiber, but your management won't let us do it because they got to carry some of the cost. Well, what the cost they're carrying, I think it was only going to cost the management here like $3 or $4 grand to put it in. And I said, split whatever it is in half and assess it to the tenants on monthly payments to pay it off, No, we're not going to do it. No.
Oh, I was going to say, that's why I stopped my Pine Grove cooking Thursdays.
Oh yeah.
Tuesdays, because I couldn't. I'd film it or 2 days before, and I couldn't get it up in time.
Yeah. Nothing like watching a Thursday show past the next Thursday on that Friday.
Well, the cable, they ran it about 3 months ago now. Or no, about 2.5 months ago, they ran that cable. I seen them running it. I didn't know what it was, but they were running it. And about a month and a half ago, they come to the house to fix the internet for like the 100th time because we were getting 0.6 megabytes, not even a megabyte. And they fixed it. But at the same time, I asked the guys, I told them, I said, I'm going to get Starlink because the internet's terrible. And they said, well, you might want to wait a bit because that line they just ran is fiber.
Right.
So he told me to contact them. And just now, a month and a half later, they just made it live. So
that's cool.
Friday,
that's cool.
They're coming, they're going to hook it up, and it's a guaranteed gigabyte. So that's like insane speed. My friend is in, a big city by here, and he has the best he can get there, and it's 500 megabytes.
Yeah. So, see, here it's 400 in our building. But I tell you what, mine's at 100. I bought the 100 package instead of the 400. I had the 400 for 2 months. And then I switched back to the 100 because I couldn't tell the fucking difference.
No, it's just so fast. You can't.
I mean, even at 100, it's fast. So if you had a full gig, if you had a full gig instead of 100 or 400, it's just boom. I've been on a full gig, and
it's only a $20 difference.
Literally, if you click on something with the mouse, it's open. It's boom, right there. Boom, right. There's no hesitation. There's no loading time. There's not. It just boom. It's right there, and it was almost scary, playing around on a whole gig, and it's like, oh shit, now you're surfing. Now you're surfing, and you can do all kinds of multiple task things, all depending on the internet. And as long as your desktop can handle it, it'll feed it. I mean, it's so fast that your desktop really can't even match that speed, Hey, Sherry, it's good to see you. And yes, out at the campground, it's been awesome. I love it. I love it out there. It's all volunteer. I don't get paid, but I love being outdoors. It's kind of weird. Nick, you wouldn't recognize me if you actually saw me. Um, since May 1st, I've lost just a couple pounds shy of 50 pounds.
Really?
Yeah. I
Wow. Well, I've been on a diet for a month and a half. I've lost 25 pounds.
wow.
Almost 26. You can't tell on my face just yet, but
Oh, I was thinking that no, you look like you've slimmed down a bit. So yeah, it's becoming noticeable. Yeah. Now with me, I wore a really tight size 38 pants when I went out to camp. I bought a pair of 32s a couple weeks ago, and them damn things are loose on me. So I dropped more than 6 inches in my waist in what, May, June, July. It's
well, I've
4
noticed
months.
I had this belt for months before I was on my diet, and it never stretched. It's like very strong. It's leather, and
Right.
then there's a layer of like nylon strapping. But it was like this on the end because I cut it
Hmm.
too short, and now it's about 3 to 4 inches long when I tighten it.
Longer. Yeah. That's my belt. It goes all the way around my side, and I have to put it through the side loop of my pants, and it still sticks out. I'm like, son of a bitch, the tail from the buckle is that from the buckle to the end of the tail is about 14 inches. And I gotta cut that son of a bitch down. I'm thinking, well, where do I cut it down to? Because what if I gain a bunch of that back, you know? The I get back home in October, I'm gonna be eating a lot of ice cream. I'm like, yeah. But see, I developed an eating disorder. I've got it's like a growth in my throat and I can't swallow properly. So I eating for me is a real struggle actually. It's tough to eat and um so I don't eat near as much as I used to. So it'll be hard to put a lot of weight back on because of the volume of food I eat now. Um but but I'm hoping that if I eat enough things like pizza and ice cream and shit this winter, I'll put some weight on before I start hosting next spring. Because next spring, at the rate I am that I've gone so far, if I'm the weight I am now next spring when I head to camp, I won't have any spare fat to burn off. So, but it makes such a difference. Now, when I go hiking, I've been hiking a little on the North Country Trail and around some of our lakes. And
I bike so much on this mountain bike I bought that I've the ball bearing went in it,
oh yeah,
and now I have an e-bike, but that's not what I'm going to use when I work out on it. I'm going to buy another bike again.
hmm,
But I've been just biking a lot, and then I'll just have water, no breakfast, and then I'll have normal lunch and normal
some
dinner. What's
yeah,
in the center of the plate?
yeah. That's the way to go. I've been contemplating getting myself a bike for at the campground instead of walking my rounds, bike the rounds. You know, just ride the bike four or five times a day around the campground.
I tell you what, though, that e-bike, it's fun. I mean, with pedal assist, you give about half the power you normally give per level. Then it kind of divides as you go up into the power
Right,
level. But it has regular throttle, and that's why I'm not going to be using it mainly for exercise, just because it's so fun. But
right.
with the throttle all the way, I was going 40 down a hill by here into town. I rode through town, come back up, come back down miles of dirt roads, and then back to the house, and it still had 2 of the 5 bars of battery.
Oh, wow.
And it has a headlight, tail light.
Yeah.
And when you brake, actually, when you're going down a hill, it charges the battery up.
Uh-huh.
But
hey,
I'm on my bed.
Salute 7777. It's good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Wheel life, buddy. Hey. It's great to see you. I hope you're doing well, buddy. Hope you're doing well. He's another one I got to catch up on. Yeah.
Well, he's so close to me. He's like 15 minutes from me.
Mm-hmm.
And we wanted to fish before.
Now,
I do like a medley.
This is something that Wheel Life would can relate to. Okay, I've got a campsite that's a walk-in campsite, and you got to walk in a good football field's distance to that campsite. Non-motorized vehicles restricted. You can't take anything motorized down that trail to that campsite. However, I had someone, it was 2 couples, 4 people, reserved the site, and they're going to be there for a week. Well, when they got there, I walked up there. They had just pulled in. I walked up there, and I looked, and here, the van that they had, they're pulling a trailer just full of camping gear. That van pulls up and backs that trailer in. Side door opens, and out drops the ramp. Here comes the power chair out of the ramp. And it's not as fancy as Wheel Life's off-road.
Yeah,
but it was close. It was close. And they looked at the sign, and it says all motorized travel ends here. And he was concerned. He said, "Oh my God, we didn't know that." And I said, wait a minute. I said, anything that is that provides any kind of health assistance to a person is exempted. You can drive that damn thing in and out of that campsite. Nobody better say a thing about it either. But a question came up, because out of that van comes one of those plastic dump box trailer rigs that you put behind your lawn tractor, and they hook it up to his chair. Well, his chair's 4-wheel drive. That thing, it's like Wheel Life's, and they hook it up to that, and they're loading all the gear in it, and he's hauling it in with his wheelchair back and forth. Well, some other camper called the main office and said, "Your host sucks." He's letting these guys run their stuff in and out of that campsite with a ATV, he said. Well, they got a hold of me, and they said, you can't be letting someone go in there with a motorized vehicle. I said, well, wait a minute, it's a power wheelchair. Oh, well, we heard it's an off-road vehicle. I said, it is, but it's a wheelchair. The individual in it is a paraplegic. He's got all the right in the world to use that to go down trails. If he can get it down the trail, he's got the right to do it, because it's a form of medical assist item that is exempt. Well, so they sent my supervisor out to try to prove me wrong. I like that. It's just a tool, those that need it. Absolutely, absolutely. And so my supervisor came out, and he heard my argument to allow it, right? And he says, "Let's walk in and have a chat with these guys." We walked in there, and the guy with the chair, he buzzed around the campsite and comes up, pulls right up to us first, because he's kind of in charge. He's kind of the man in charge. We got to talk to him. My supervisor, he says, "Sty, don't even go approach that other camper that complained. I'll do it." And I found out from that camper that complained the next day that my supervisor went to him and basically told him to shut the F up and mind his own damn business. I loved it. I just loved it. And that guy would he'd ride that chair up and he'd come to my campsite and hang out. You know, I'd be at the campfire or I'd just be sitting out by my camp kitchen and here he come tooling up into my campsite and park and we'd chat for an hour or two. Yeah, he was pretty cool. He was pretty cool. But he's not not camera friendly, man. He saw my GoPro sitting on a tripod and he stopped and he goes, he points at it. He goes, is that camera going? I looked, I go, no, it can be. He goes, that's my point. No, if you're going to run a camera, I ain't coming in here. He don't want to be on camera. Doggone it. I really did want to get him on camera because him in real life would have a blast, man. Because this guy is crazy too. He got his rig stuck. Yeah, he headed off down a trail and kind of a steep hill. And there's a little boggy down at the bottom, and he got it stuck in there. And they were all trying to drag that thing back up the hill, and they weren't able. And they're not allowed to have any motor vehicles down there. Well, I work for the Forest Service. I'm allowed to take a motor vehicle in there. So I took my Simplicity lawn tractor down there, and I got a 30-foot long tow rope that I use, and I ran it down the hill, hooked up to his rig, and I just pulled him up the hill with the Simplicity. I was up on dry ground. And yeah, it worked good. Worked good. Okay, Sherry, thanks for stopping in. You take good care of yourself. We're going to be wrapping this up in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, newfound drone. I will be using it, for when I do that, but I'll probably keep it around here just because, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm still planning on it. I do need a mountain bike, though.
Newfound drone productions. It is great to see. It's been a while. Yeah. I've been riding them for the last 5 years. Had an electric motorcycle as well. They're awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Talking about electric motorcycles, I had this little kid. He couldn't have been more than 5 or 6 years old. And he's on this little electric motorcycle. I had to tell him to slow down. We got a 15-mile-an-hour speed limit in the campground. And I know that kid was doing 30 on that damn thing. And at first he wasn't too sure about it, but then he understood, and his mother helped me out. I told him, you stay on that loop where your campsite is. Don't be driving down through the campground past my site and on the other loop. I said, you're so low on that damn thing. I couldn't see him over the hood of my Forest Service truck, and he's 10 feet in front of me. That's how low he was. I said, you're too easy of a target for somebody to run your little butt over. I said, no, stay up on that loop where mom can keep an eye on you and make sure you don't get run over by another camper.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy a bike trailer and put my camping gear in it.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna camp with it for sure. It's an Engwe, ENGWE. It's an EP Pro, and I'm actually doing a review. They sent it to me, so I've been testing it for like 5 days now, and I've already put almost 50 miles on it.
Oh yeah.
So, but the pedal assist at level 1, it's kind of like riding a normal bike, but it kind of just keeps you going. There's no like little brief pauses. And then level 5, it's practically you're acting like you're pedaling, but it's a motor.
Yeah, you're just moving your legs. Yeah. And
then there's just throttle if you want the throttle. So
yeah.
But I'm gonna be camping with it. That's one of the things I'm gonna do. We've got a route from Cable, Wisconsin that goes down, and they stay at Moose Lake Campground, which is Travis's. Then they work their way up and they stay at East Twin at my campground. Then from there they go over to Drummond, Wisconsin, and it's a 61-mile bike tour they take, and it's almost all
Forest Service back roads, some trail, you know, pretty good trails, but some trail. And we had a guy with an e-bike, and yeah, he had some awesome saddlebags on it, and a bag off the front. He pulled in the camp there. He had reserved a site, got his camp all set up, and you'd swear he hauled all that gear in there with a pickup truck. And I said, "You're not carrying all that shit on your bike, are you?" And he goes, "Look at my bike." And I walk over, I go, "Oh my God, it's an e-bike." He goes, "Uh-huh." He says, "Boy, has it come in handy on this 61-mile trip." He says, "I've only pedaled about half of it." He says, "The e-bike got me through the other half." He said,
"What I like about mine, it has the battery. Like you're saying, you can usually see a battery like on the outside, right? It's kind of just on the frame, but kind of it. But this one, the bike breaks in half and it folds into like a two-piece, so you can put it in place better. But the battery's inside the frame, and you just kind of pull it out if you need it. But it's cool. It breaks in half, and it's very sturdy. You know, it's got two.
Good night, Timothy.
It's got two fat tires. They're like,
that's it. His had fat tires, and they were. He said, even through the sugar sand on some of those trails, that it handled and rode real good. Yeah. Hey, Killer Creations, good to see you. And
it's got a huge bike rack, and the weight limit on it is 350, which I was 330 the beginning or like middle of last year, and now I'm 294. So I can hold with warranty, let's just say 50 pounds.
Yeah, you can throw 50 pounds of gear in there, and if you're going backpacking for a week, that's about what you carry, you know.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of fall mountain bike trails here that have the campsites off of them, so I'm just gonna take that because I like riding when it's cold, and just kind of film and camp off the bike. So. I've wanted one for a while, but I just didn't want to pay so much. But they are awesome, though.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't mind one there at camp. You know, but
you'd like it.
I know I'd enjoy it. But
they don't.
Oh, there you go. Flat out e-bikes. That's great. Yeah. Hey, everybody, check that out. Hey, Strawberry Shortcake. Great to see Hearts and Hugs back.
I've been wanting to do the camping for a while, but it's weird. Like when you think of something, and I know a lot of other people probably thought of it too, but haven't done it yet. But you think of it, and then you look, and there's tons of videos. Like just recently, people are putting out the e-bike camping videos and e-bike hunting. But I was looking at it years ago, and it's like, so maybe people like it.
Yeah. Well, and that's it. Is there hasn't been a lot of video work on that topic, and people are now the interest is starting to show. So it's
like truck camping. That's why I'm starting truck camping, because a lot of people, they want to keep pushing the bushcraft kind of thing, and that's kind of just get into like when you say gaming. You know, there's so many gaming videos, and
well, that's it. I don't go down the bushcraft trail much at all anymore. I just talk camping and outdoors general. You know, camping's going great. Strawberry.
My miscellaneous, like what piques my interest outdoors is what I post.
Yep. The only reason I guess I wouldn't invest in a e-bike right now is I'm really concerned about staying mobile and in as best shape as I can. So I want to make sure that whatever I do requires some physical effort. And I got a feeling with an e-bike, this old man would get lazy. I know I would. I'd have it on throttle all the time.
Well, what I'm doing is biking to somewhere, right? And it doubles the range that I'd normally go, just because the way back, then I'd use the assist. But that's for exercise wise. When I do use the e-bike, if I'm not doing trail riding or stuff like that, I'll just have it normal pedal all the way somewhere like miles, and then the way back I just use the assist.
Yeah. Yeah. And for me, where I'm at there at camp, I wouldn't get, I get plenty of use right in the campground, but the campground's not that big. I might ride it back and forth down to the boat landing once in a while, and that would be it. That's just like the boat I bought. Buddy of mine loaned me an outboard motor, and I told him, come pick that thing up the end of September. I'll be done with it. And I said, you're going to get a full 6 gallons of fuel for it, because the damn thing don't burn as much fuel as I thought it would. So I got way too much fuel. And I only get out on that boat maybe once a week. So I don't know. I don't know if I even bring it back to camp next season. It's just I don't get enough use out of it. Yeah, I bike like 35 kilometers a day on the e-bike. Sometimes I do about 60, depending on if I want to use 1 battery or 2 a day. Yeah, it's like my electric chainsaw. My boss out there at Forest Service, he can't believe how much wood I bucked up this year, all with my electric chainsaw. And he said, man, oh man. And I told him, I said, the only thing I ever have to do with my chainsaw is sharpen the damn thing once in a while. I said, there's no servicing. It's not gas, I don't have to worry about keeping it in tune and running good gas in it or nothing. I drop battery in the charger, and within 4 hours that battery's topped off, and I can cut. The longest I cut with it was 1 hour and 45 minutes without a break. Just constantly cut for 1 hour and 45 minutes. And when I was done, it was down to 1 light on my battery. It's got 4 indicator lights on it. It was down to the 1, but it still had plenty of power. And I thought, man, you get 2 hours out of a chainsaw on a few hours of charge time. Pop the battery in at night and saw wood for 2 hours the next day.
I'm not so big on like big electric things, but like the small appliances and say like e-bike, I do like electric things like that.
Yeah, me too. I don't. Yeah. Yeah, I love my electric chainsaw, man. I love it. It's an Atlas. I got it from Harbor Freight, and I got the 40 volt instead of the 80 volt. But I'm thinking this spring I might buy a second one. I'll buy the 80 volt, which is, I've got 2 batteries. I've got what they call 4080s. I can use that battery in my 40, but it's actually an 80 volt battery, so it gives the battery life twice as long in my 40. And the 80 volt is an 18-inch saw, where the 40 volts only a 16-inch saw. But I'm thinking I want the 18-inch for some of the bigger wood that I'm cutting. But it's so neat. I was cutting wood one day in camp, just buzzing away, cutting wood. And probably about 20 minutes or so I spent cutting firewood up. Put the saw away, and I was sitting thinking, I got to split that wood, And here comes this guy from the campground, comes walking into my campsite, and he goes, hey, would you make me a margarita? I go, what do you mean make you a margarita? And he goes, isn't that what you're doing? I could hear the blender. I said, that ain't no damn blender. And I walked over, pulled my chainsaw out, ran it, and he goes, "That's it. It sounds like a damn blender." I said, "Yeah, it's quiet, ain't it? Yeah, yeah."
And
The
that's like
the campers never bitch about me running the electric chainsaw. Yeah.
with the Fleta, I have seen people do that already a while ago. But crap. See, my memory's bad. But I keep riding at like, the times I've gone into towns, it's like 11 at night to midnight is when I go on my bike. And it's like I'm riding a dirt bike, but there's no sound. It's just the tires going on.
Yeah, you just hear the hum of the tires.
It is so quiet, and I like that because I don't like loud things that much. Like,
Yeah.
I like being stealthy and like cruising through stuff.
Yep, that's
And
why I am too. Keep the sound down.
If you take it hunting, which a lot of people do now, there's e-bike brands for hunting. You could cruise that into somewhere, and there's no sound. I mean, it's,
Right. Oh, for going into a deer stand or something, they'd be awesome. They'd be so awesome. Can't hear you, Nick.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, there's the microphones. I see it. There's two holes on the side. And another thing, I don't know how many videos I have. I know it's like probably 400 or so. But with the internet, back to the internet part, this has been on constantly for the hours it took each of those to upload. I've had this thing on and open for 5+ years for like all my videos.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how this thing is still going, but I won't have to use it no more for that.
That's it. You won't have to worry about it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey guys, we're gonna have to be wrapping it up, man. My Wednesday nights, I'm pretty strict about it. I hate to be, but I gotta shake it out of here. I gotta shake it out at 5 a.m. and be on the road by 6. I gotta get back down to my campgrounds and do my rounds. That puts me down there about 7:30 by the time I stop to get gas, blah, blah, blah. And then I can get all my campground rounds done before noon. And if I don't do that, somebody complains because I'm away for a full 24 hours. None of them seem to be able to survive without their host for 24 hours. Well, thanks, Flat Out E-Bikes. Thanks for showing up. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I could chat with Nick all night, but and when we shut down, I'm going to have to tell him, no, you go ahead and sit here by yourself. I'm not, because him and I after streams have gone for hours because him and I can talk for hours. We got so much to talk about. It's been awesome. I want to thank everybody that's out there for being here. It's been a great night. That's what I love about my Wednesdays. Look forward to the potential of a couple, 2, 3 live streams a week now that I got a possible new way of streaming. And next Wednesday may be right from camp. So we'll see what happens. It's weird because I still have to come back to town next Wednesday. It's called Pay Your Bills on the 1st of the month. If I don't come back next Wednesday to pay my bills, there won't be any live streaming anywhere. So all of you have a very good night. It was awesome as always. And like always, I grabbed that pretty girl out of the corner and do the jig with her on the way out the door. And I'll see you all next Wednesday. No later than that. Night. Say good night to Nick, guys. I get to say good night to him after I shut down. But you guys, say good night to Nick, and we'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Good night.